Yo, these cans of pepper spray were like this long, bro. I put the mask on the shirt over my face. They came in like swap. One of them ran to the right, and the other one ran to the left. Like they just start shooting all that. Yo, one dude tried to run to his cell. He fell on the ground. Dude stood over him and started spraying his whole body. This man looked like an Oompa Loompa. Like, yo, that's how orange he was. I thought he died, bro. I didn't see this man for like a month later when we finally got shipped out. He came back to the unit. I'm like, bro, I thought you died. What the fuck? I seen him dragging his body out the unit. His whole back is orange. The judge, when I got sentenced, she told me straight up. She said, yo, look. She didn't say, yo, but she's like, I do believe like your music is wanting people to join the Latin case, encourage them to commit crimes, this and that. But I wrote a letter explaining my music, my passion for music, my thing. She was like, I love the letter you wrote. And she was like, and you know what? I encourage you to keep doing music. I want you to keep doing music, but I do advise, be careful on what you're saying because we are listening. She was like, because if you think we're not, we're listening. He's walking down like the other yard. I'm seeing motherfuckers tied up, look like gangland, the show gangland, like crazy looking motherfucker. I see dude walking down, big dude. I seen two short dudes walk up to him, and the dude just stopped. They just start swinging on dude. One dude, I seen him just like punching on the side. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker can't. All I hear is just the siren. They let off. They all just get down on the floor. They open the shit back up 2 days later. Now I see a white dude walking down. He's in the yard playing ball, and I see two other white dudes run down on him. They start stabbing the shit out of him. I'm like, yo, what the? The third shit that happened there, somebody police in the shower. So now we locked down. No showers, no nothing. I'm taking bird baths in my cell.
Ain't got a moment. When they see you down, just know they love it.
Everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a couple special guests with me today. So why don't you tell the people y'all names, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
All right, I'm Looney D Block, double up Dubb. We the twins. We go by a group named the Generals. We 2/3 of the group. Shout out bro King Ace the General. But we from Dorchester, Mass, Boston, man. Shout out the whole city, man. Everybody holding it down. So far with this music, man, right now we kind of like took a little break from it, but we about to jump back in it. You know, we was just taking care of like a little bit of life situation, work, and handling, you know, family. But we got a Blickum Part 2 coming out. You know what I mean? We're gonna shoot the video soon. Shout out King Pun. But yeah, and I dropped the tape probably about 3 months ago. Pain is temporary, man. Go tap in on all platforms, man. Hard tape, straight pain. Yeah, it's fire.
So why don't you run down the social media for the people one time?
Pretty much you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, King Looney the General, or even if you just put Looney D Block, you'll find me on all that. Yeah, you find me on IG. On TikTok, double up Dubb 65. I don't do the Facebook. Then you go tap into our YouTube channel, the Generals D Block right there. That's where we drop everything on all platforms. But that's where you get the exclusive videos. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the heart, from the pain, all that. You know what I'm saying? Straight from the core. Yeah, from the twins. You know, double up.
Absolutely. So talk a little bit about what like the home life was like growing up. Was it just y'all two? You have any other siblings? And were both parents in the house? Talk a little bit about that.
So you want? I mean, both parents were it wasn't really, both parents weren't really in the house. Like, I could say probably up till we was like, what, 4 or 5 years old. Pops was dead. Pops went to prison. He went to prison for like 10 years. You know, my mom, she started dating our steppa. She's still with him to this day. She started dating with him after he went to prison for like 10 years. Yeah. So, you know, it was a lot of, wasn't really a male figure there, so we was basically raised by our mom. She was the man and the woman of the house. My sister was there. She's not too far older than us and shit, but she was there probably till like we was like. So to her, like she was like 18, she moved out. Yeah, we was like probably like 10, 11 when she moved out. You know what I mean?
Okay. So besides, you know, dad and your step pops, was that like a normal thing? You had any other family members getting locked up?
Yeah,
uncles
so
and stuff
we got a lot. We actually got twin uncles too.
Yeah, okay.
Twins weren't kind of running the family. Yeah,
that's what I hear. Yeah.
But we had uncles too. You know, the closest uncle we had, he passed away last year. It was a year in May. This month. Matter of fact, it hit a year. He passed away. That was the closest uncle that was close. The one we was closest to. He was in and out of jail. We had 2 more uncles that was in and out of jail. Another one had passed away. My older cousin, Joey too, RP him. He was living with us for a little bit when he came out of jail. my mom, she took him in and shit like that because he kept like going. His PO was throwing him in there like every time and shit. And she was like, she felt bad because it's like his mom, she already had like 4 other kids and shit. And it's like too much going on. She's a single mom herself, you know what I mean?
Growing up in the projects,
in Fidelis projects. So when he came out of jail, he was there for a little bit. I don't really remember what happened, but I just remember he was with us for like 2 weeks and then he was right back in jail.
He was more like a brother though. He was our big cousin, but he was more like a brother. He passed away too. He got killed.
Yeah, not too long.
That was tough.
After.
Rest in peace. So being so young and then having all these people like you seeing going in and out of jail, in and out of prison, I guess like talk about what was your like view on jail and prison in general. Was it something that seemed kind of normal in your family? Was it something that seemed like, did it scare you? Was it abnormal? Was it like, what's the mindset?
Honestly, it didn't really scare us. Like, it kind of felt normal. Like, we used to visit our pops when we was younger. My mom used to try to keep us in a relationship with the pops. And then I don't even remember what happened there, but it just separated. And we used to go visit our step pops. Maybe because when they split up, who knows? But just going in and out, they used to go to like the Concord, Mass, go visit them up there. Okay. And
now cousins was just like in and out of jail too and shit. Like we'll see him here and there, cause we was always at their crib and shit. And he like few of our cousins, they got like there's like one group of cousins from one aunt, 7 kids. You know what I mean? All boys type shit. You know what I mean? So they were all like all different ages too. You know what I mean? They were always in and out of jail.
Always on the run.
So it's like, and we hung with them like heavy. You know what I mean? So it was like seeing that shit. It really didn't take no effect. You know what I mean? So it was like,
normal, basically. It was normal to us. Like seeing that happen, just like, I guess we'll see you when you come home.
Exactly.
And he ain't there where he at? All right, I guess we'll see him when he come home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you become like desensitized to it. You know what I mean? And it's
we was kids too, so we just worried about having fun.
Yeah, and we didn't think about the time. So like when we do see him and then they leave and then they come back, it probably was like 5 years, and we like, oh shit, they
now you look different. We got a bed now.
Right, kind of come out kind of jacked. You know, a lot of times, you know.
For sure.
Absolutely. So what, like, when you went to, visit, like, what are these conversations? What's your dad, what's stepdad, what are they telling you? Like, what are they telling you about jail? What kind of maybe game they're trying to give you or life lessons?
So it was crazy because my mom lost contact with my pops when he was in there. And then we ended up finding out that my pops and my step pops were in the same unit together.
Wow.
They became, so he was like, I guess he's showing pictures of my, pictures of us when we was young. Like, look at my kids. And it was like, man, those are my kids. What you mean? He's like, oh damn, like, he's like, I haven't seen them in long. How my kids doing? So they built a relationship.
Wow.
It's him like, y'all treat you. He was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Growing up.
But it's funny though because he used to have him draw, like my step pops draw pictures for my pops to send it to us, and we getting it from him. My step pops used to send us like he's so talented at drawing. He used to send us like full naked girls and shit like that, realistic shit. So it was like we didn't really put 2 and 2 together that it was like the same artist on that. You know what I mean?
He sent a message like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just tell my kids I love them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure when they grow up, you know what I'm saying, you keep them on the right track. Because obviously he's looking at him like, you here now, so obviously you did the same thing I did.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But just make sure my kids is good.
Absolutely.
You know?
I feel like a lot of times too, it's like, especially if you're gonna be locked up, the boys they need a male figure, whoever it may be. But I mean, at that point, they're both sitting. They're both sitting,
exactly.
I mean, what were the sentences?
So they both got my pops. Well, pops got like 10 years. Step pops got like 11 and a half.
It was like he got caught with like a it was like
trafficking.
Yeah, it was trafficking.
Trafficking. Yeah.
So I mean that's
and there was a gun in the trap too that wasn't his, but he got charged with. That's what added more time to his shit. Plus he was illegal because he's Dominican.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got deported right after.
It was fucked up. Yeah, fucked up situation.
So talk a little bit more about like what your neighborhood was like. You said Dorchester projects and all that.
From Devon to be exact.
Yeah.
We grew up in Lower Roxbury, South End area. Yeah. But like I said, like our cousins and shit, where we from on Devon Street, that's in Dorchester, like on the borderline of Roxbury and Dorchester. So it was like really a little bouncing back and forth from there and shit because we got peoples in the villa, you know what I mean? And we got people like all through the South End, you know what I mean? So we was really over there, but then we over on our side, you know what I mean, fucking around and shit. So it was just like
it's like any normal day in the hood in Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The Devon's long. Devon goes all from Warren up to Columbia Road, down and it curves down to Geneva. Like, you know what I'm saying? We from between Normandy to Blue Hill Ave. And it was like any regular day in the hood. Like you say, you see the fiends, you hear the shootings, you know what I'm saying? All that. And just regular, you know, it ain't projects, but it's just like regular hood stuff. You hear somebody yelling out the window. You see a bunch of kids running around there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was tough at some point. It was like real heavy as far as gang violence and stuff like that growing up.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Especially since, you know, we had family that grew up in the area that lived on Devon, you know what I'm saying, and just being over there, young, mom's yelling, hey, make sure y'all stay in the front. Or don't leave the backyard, you know what I'm saying? Just because
we've seen all the shit our older cousins doing this shit.
Motherfuckers are getting killed on Stanwood. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was real active when we was young growing up there to then grow up and actually, you know what I'm saying, be from there and just become a product of your environment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. How does that happen? How do you eventually know like who to start hanging out with? Is it just because family, you know, a lot of cousins?
Family house really how it started.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Our cousins
definitely.
lived there, like I said, and just being around cousins, you know what I'm saying, our cousins daily as we got older. We lost contact with our cousins at some point. And like I said, some of them went to jail. And then it was like the friends around them, they went to jail. Some of them got picked up by the feds. So you know what I'm saying? So a lot of them separated. Then we seen the youngest cousin, shout out my cousin Nasty. We young growing up with him, you know what I'm saying? We young just chasing the life, you know what I'm saying? We smoking weed, we chilling out, we trying to be around girls, we trying to be around the guys, we just trying to prove ourselves, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't just these pretty boys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we active if we have to get active.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just being around them, it just came with us, like we wasn't even trying to build a name, but the name built itself. Just like the reputation as far as like how we carry ourselves, how we move. Yeah, we was young, but we moved like we was grown men.
That's why we always like got the respect from the older people from like literally from everywhere we go. They're just like, I like the way these young dudes move. I like the way they carry themselves. They don't move like little niggas out here, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It was a
journey.
It was a journey. It was a journey, and it was a lot of good moments, a lot of sad moments, a lot of angry moments. Like, you know what I'm saying. But it all comes with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
So being out in the streets, you know, a lot of times the streets is very cutthroat, very, you know, every man for themselves. You know, no matter, you know, a lot of times they preach brotherhood and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like knowing that you had like a blood brother, that bond, and at least that one person to have your back. I mean, did that help you navigate through the streets?
I feel like I wouldn't want to say that's what we relied on, but that's what we really like. We really like stand on that loyalty with each other. Like we had like, it started off just like he said, shout out my cousin Nancy. It was just us three. Then it slowly grew into like 5. You know what I mean? And it's just like we really didn't trust nobody but each other. It was hard to trust somebody. It was so hard.
Like I'm not just gonna trust you because, like, bro just brought you around and you know what I'm saying, and he knows you, but now I gotta build that. Y'all built that relationship. Now I gotta build that relationship to see why he likes you the way he likes you.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. So I'm not just gonna be like, oh, just because you. I'm like, I'm gonna show respect. I'm mad respectful, like you know what I'm saying. But it's just like I'm not gonna put my all into you until I see for myself why this man trusts you the way he does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because I mean, I don't have a twin, but I have a brother, you know, just a couple years younger than me, and it was like. But I would like be overly protective, being the older brother.
Oh, absolutely.
Y'all being like, you know,
absolutely.
technically one's older, but like, are y'all still very protective of each other? I would imagine, right?
Like little bros from the hood too. You know what I mean? But like even before all that happened, we was like way over. That he didn't even want to fuck with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
he always
really
felt like we was
on
on his back. You know what I mean? And we was just being the older brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We handled all his battles. You know what I mean? When he was little and all that shit.
Yep.
It's just.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes
man.
sometimes. That's how, like, I looked at my little brother. We both got locked up at the same time. We went to DYS, and then we went to different units.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I kind of realized, like, he's on his own now, you know what I mean? And having the staff member come down, because we got different last names, too. Just because, my mom tried to, we have the same father, but my mom and dad,
us too.
Yeah,
well, they tried to play the system, gave us 2 different last names and all that
like,
stuff.
You know
So
same thing with my little brother.
That's what little bro, Double O.
Yep.
He back. He booked again right now, but
Free little
he
bro.
was our co-defendant. Like I said, we got picked up in the RICO. So you know what I'm saying.
Yep,
All
crazy.
3 of us are co-defendants.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. But he got a different. We got the same pulse, but he got a different last name. He got his mom's last name.
Okay.
So when, you know, they separated us, and he was in a whole different one, bros in different ones.
Yeah,
so.
even my youngest brother, there's 3 of us, 3 different last names. I look at my mom, I'm like, oh, it's just like such a Section 8 mom. Like, I love her, but like, goddamn, she was 16 when she got pregnant. Whatever, she did the best she could. So, I guess talk a little bit about what's school like for y'all? You know what I mean? What are y'all getting into at school? How'd you do it as students? Did you start getting into sports?
Man,
what
let me
was
tell
that
you
like?
something.
Listen,
Yo,
it
school
was
is a
good up
trip.
until like we was man. My mom wanted to whoop our ass every day. Like we went to the Hurley in the South
All
End.
that was horrible. I think the worst was probably when we was in elementary. Like
That's
was
what
like,
did.
Yeah,
In
we
the
was
South End,
bugging.
the Hurley.
We was bugging.
She was up there all the time. Like she was tired of our shit. they try to put us in
She
therapy.
even worked
trying
there
to
at one point.
Yeah, they put us in therapy trying to figure out what's going on with these kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? We trying to fight teachers. We fighting other students all the time. And it's more like, bro was smaller than me. I was big as shit. Like, I was a little chubby kid. So mom used to be like, yo, always look out for your brother because he's smaller than you. Don't let nobody play with him, and you don't let nobody play with your brother. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And we in the same class.
He
all the way
he
from
was
like
quiet,
young to
but
fifth
he had
grade.
like a little mouth on him, so it was always getting into it with somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I still remember to this day, like, they're going out for recess, and I'm inside today. I'm like, man, I'm not going outside. He's outside. And one of my boys, Juice from the South, then he runs in the class, like, yo, well, they out there trying to jump your brother. I'm like, what? I look out the window and I see my brother like this, like squaring up, like he's just moving around, holding on to his jacket, and they got like 5 dudes around him. So I'm running out, I'm running down the hallway, I'm flying down the hallway, I'm running down, I'm come outside, I jump on top of the bleachers and I sucker punch one. I didn't even ask no questions. We just start swinging on everybody.
Yeah, he cracked it with that. I had my jacket because I was waiting whoever runs up first, I was gonna throw it and just start swinging. But I remember that like he just out of nowhere, I just look and it just comes out of nowhere flying, just boom.
Like, you see 300 just did that kick. I like leaped off that bench with a fist, like, I just started swinging on everybody.
Like in the 5th grade.
Yeah, it was like 5th grade.
Like
Start swinging at everybody, and that's just how it always been. My mom came in like, I don't give a fuck. I told him to do that. He's supposed to have his brother's back. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's always
no bullshit
been.
though. It got so bad though that they didn't let me graduate. You know what I mean? They sent my diploma home to me because they didn't want me in the school. Whenever we was going to summer school damn near like every year because we was like, we didn't give a fuck. And then it got to the point that they were tired of us being in the same school. They were like begging us, yo, one of y'all want to go to the Blackstone? Please, one of y'all go over there. It's more fun.
They were passing us. Wasn't even passing. They were just passing just to get us out of school.
Man, I'm telling you, cops done came up there and all that shit.
So when you said that graduation, your diploma, is this like 8th grade going into high school?
No, this is 5th grade.
Oh, this is 5th grade going into middle school.
Yo, dude, I got into a bang out with the janitor and everything and shit. I had to go to court and all that.
My mom came in there like a savage. She was like,
yo, ready to fuck shit up.
I'm like, what we doing? She's like, where the janitor be at? Walking to the front, I'm like, he be in there in the basement. Yo, she grabbed us both by our wrists, opened that door, said, we going down there and y'all kicking the shit out of him. And then if we have to jump him, we're gonna jump him.
Hey, yo, that dude kicked me so hard.
Mom, like, but this is a big dude. Like,
that dude kicked me so hard in my chest, he left his Timberland boot right here. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was wicked.
That's crazy. So did y'all both end up doing so you said the cops came, so now you're in the system, juvenile system?
So I don't even know how that went. I didn't like get arrested or anything. Like the cops came because they came to make a report. Because I was like 8 years old. I swear to God, I was probably like I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade when this went down. And
we was like 9.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I just remember I snuck out of class and I was with my boy and we like you ever you know the sporks how you bend it back and you ever like hit it against the spoon part to shatter it, so we take a turn doing that.
Throwback game.
Yeah, and he came in like, oh, what are you doing in here? He started flipping out and I'm like, shut the fuck up, like get the fuck out. He's like, oh, who you talking to like that? He's like, I'll go get the principal. And I'm like, he said, I'll go get Miss Poe. That was her name. I was like, go get Miss Ho. You know what I mean? So he tried to grab me by my ear and I smacked his hand. My boy takes off running. I grab a chair, I throw it at him. It's a whole bunch of shit went down. He's chased me. I'm sliding under tables. And when he caught me, he threw the table against me and they caught me like this. And when he moved it, he kicked me in my chest. And I remember he dipped out and the gym teacher came in because he heard me crying. And he's hearing me, but I wasn't crying loud. And I was trying to hide in the corner. And he was like, who's that? And when he found me, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. He said, why are you holding your stomach like that? When he lifted my shirt up, he was like, what the fuck happened? He had my mom's number and shit like that because he used to be like, yo, I'm gonna keep your key. He used to keep us cool, you know what I mean? How we fucked with the gym teacher heavy and shit. And he's like, I gotta call your mom right now and shit. So when he called her, that's when my mom, they were scared of my mom. So they the one that called my mom, called the cops to the school before my mom got there because they were like, yo, she's gonna come over here flipping shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, and we went to court. We went to court, and the judge was just shitting on me. Oh, I can see you in the future coming here again. You're this young, and you shouldn't be fighting janitors, and this, and that. And then I don't even know what happened. We just left, and then he was just like, don't let me see you again, or you're gonna do time. Yeah. My mom was like, how the fuck you gonna talk to my son like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, she no filter. Yeah, she no fuck who she talk to.
Yeah. So I mean, do you end up getting committed at all to DYS later?
Nah, so that DYS really didn't kick in like that till like, it was like
This like 15.
15, yeah,
Yo,
like 14.
So that's when we found out
14.
the school could, like 14. We found out that the school could put
the
chins
chins
on
on
you
us.
without your
Yeah.
parents' consent. So you know what I mean? So when one day my mom tricked us and shit, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the courthouse. Y'all coming with me? You're not going to school today." So we thinking it's a day off in school. She's like, "Oh, I bet whatever." She brings us into this room and shit with this lady and shit, and then she starts telling them like, "Yeah, I want the chins on them and this and that." And we looking like,
she was
"What the
tired about
fuck?"
shit.
So the lady's looking it up and she's like, "Whoa." I think she said he already had, or
No, she was like, you could put it on him. He already got it.
I already had it or some shit like that. And then she was like, yeah, put it on him too and shit. So I guess we was skipping school a lot. You know what I mean? We'll go to
We started
first
smoking
period.
weed
And
at
then
13, 14. That's when it really started, you know what I'm saying?
The motivation goes downhill. I swear that's what happened with me with Pop Warner. I was like,
And I was like,
someone a little. So I was
damn.
like,
Then we started skipping school. Yo, we skipped school. This was like our freshman year too. We had just finished. It was probably like, I don't even know. We just got into the 9th grade, and we started skipping school. We was skipping school for like 2 months straight. The janitor, still thinking about the janitor. That's crazy. The principal was like, yo, you know what? Y'all ain't even get suspended. Y'all had a long time already out. Y'all getting in-school suspension. So now we ducking that. So now all of a sudden we like ran away or some shit. I don't know what we did, but we ran away and we had the chins on us. We was looking for us. We was hiding out with my aunt's because she was out in DR. She left the apartment to her son. So we in there, we just chilling. Moms can't find us. One time she come down driving out Hyde Park Ave, and I'm walking with my cousin Nasty. Well, bro, Nasty, his mom didn't give a fuck as long as you came home. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's just like, yo, they go your mom. I'm like, what you mean? See my mom driving down a little RAV4. So he's like, oh shit. So I see my sister like, there they go right there. And we start running. Got away.
Chasing us down Hyde Park.
We try to go back to school being normal. The next day they came locked us up in school. I went to DYS for like I was there for like 2 to 3 weeks.
damn, man.
And it was bad. He went to JP Starlight,
They sent me
kids halfway
they sent
house.
me to a program.
Yeah.
Shit, I hated that shit.
Yeah.
I was so
It was
mad
wicked
over
in
that
there.
shit.
It was where the staff were beating people up, like the kids. I'm like, yo, how these grown ass men getting away with beating these kids up? Like,
Yeah,
I'm chilling,
hell yeah.
though. I'm like, well, it is what it is. Like I said, I be acting. I was acting when I was a kid, but I was respectful. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just watching all this shit go down. I'm seeing, yo, one time, right? I'm like, it's early. It was like winter time too. So staff was like, yo, knocks on the door. It's like 4 a.m. He's like, yo, you want to take a shower? I was like, you gotta take like right now. It's like 4 a.m. He's like, you want to take it later? I was like, when you opening the door again? He's like 8 o'clock. I was like, I'll take it at 8 o'clock. Went back to sleep. I wake up, knocking on the door, like, yo, what the fuck? Why everybody else? You refuse shower. Now you in the cell for like fucking 48 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't refuse a shower. I just didn't want to take a shower that early.
Right, that's
like, what
crazy.
the fuck? So they locked in. All of a sudden, some kid pops off on some other kid. And I just seen the CEO just come. I think they called him Trini. His name is D.Y. They grabbed, he flipped dude, threw him like that. Dude hit his head on the chair, and then they covered that up. Dude split his shit.
I mean, they do damage when it's like in adult jails on people.
Yeah.
So like
Hell
some of those kids are small, man. I was like a
yeah.
little older when I was in DYS, like almost ready to
There was some
age
big
out.
ass
But
kids
like,
in there though.
yeah, but there was some too that was like 13. I was like, damn, man, that was
tiny
fucked
ass.
up,
There
bro.
was a young little white boy. His brothers were like known. It was like his last name was like Walsh. I'll never forget it. They favored that kid just because they loved his brothers, because I guess his brothers were reckless. And then it was like, nah, these kids, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the Spanish black neighborhood, they treat the white kids different. Like, nah, these white boys, they get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those your brothers? Like, shit, how come you ain't big? Like, dude was massive. I'm like, this kid look like he's like 7.
Yeah,
I'm over there. He's in there. He was gangbanging too. He was like a little GD or something like that.
Wow.
From Southie.
So going through all that, what ends up happening with high school? Diplomas or what happens? You end up dropping out or
we
getting
got
locked
kicked.
up?
We got kicked out of there.
Yeah, we got kicked out of
We
high
got sent to
school.
El Central, and we was there. That
They
was
sent
an
us to an
alternative school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got sent to the alternative school. Was there for a little bit. We got locked up again there.
Nah, but no, is that when we first got? I think the first time we ever got locked up was fucking. Nah, man. In fact, I'm lying.
Nah,
I'm lying.
it was mad shit. It was just crazy. But I
Yeah,
know
it was
from
so much
there,
shit. It was so much.
we they was on alternative school. You got, you know what I'm saying, they trying to get your grades. They're trying to put you back in the regular school. I ended up dropping out. We ended up dropping out after that. Like, you know what I'm saying, they tried to send us back. We was just catching wreck. It was a school full of all girls. It was 4 boys.
Yeah.
At this point though, you guys like in this, like heavy in the
Yeah, we
streets and doing
gangbang.
street
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
what it was
The weed
too.
fucked everything up.
Yeah. And then like
The weed
at
fucked it
at
all
the
up.
same time, like we was like I said, we was young chilling with older dudes too, and we were like, we just like became like Latin kings, you know what I mean? So we was like really like gang type shit, like flagging heavy. Everything I wore had to be like, and it wasn't even
Flamed
like a
out.
mandatory shit. It was like I wanted to be flamed
be
out
flamed
every
out.
time, every day, head to toe type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was like really playing a part, and we just like all just wanted to chill with each other, hang out.
Cause you got all the blood. Well, the where we grew up, like I said, it was all family and shit. Most everybody from Devon, it was like you was a member, like you know what I'm saying. So that's like, but that's more like how we said we grew into it, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like really Devon's Latin kings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like a rite of passage in the neighborhood, pretty much.
Yeah, like they that
You
street there, you pass by Devon, they be like, oh, that's the Latin Kings over there.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? All the Spanish people, oh, that's the Latin Kings. You know, it ain't only Spanish, blacks in there. You know what I'm saying, and all that, but. And whites, like, you know what I'm saying, and fucking just be like, oh, that's Latin Kings. You just see Devon at a certain, like I said, from Normandy to Blue Hill, they be like, oh, that's some Latin Kings. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, to your knowledge, how long has it been like that? I mean, obviously seems like
Like,
almost your whole life.
Since-
But
yeah, like, it was like 14.
What, like, it's been Latin Kings?
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah.
forever.
yeah,
My cousin started
yeah.
that shit with
Okay.
a few of the other bros, the older bros, fucking, like the 90s, early 90s, late 80s type shit. You know what I mean? It's been-
generational, at least.
Yeah.
Cause they old and they already touching their 40s.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So that's pretty much the culture in the neighborhood. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
right?
that
So it's been
section,
like
yeah.
that for that long. I mean,
Yeah.
you think it was just partly being so young too? Was that you wanted to be a little bit extra
You were,
wild?
like the
or-
the older bros were wilding out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I
Yeah.
don't know who did it worse, my generation or theirs and
Right.
shit. And I think they fucked with us so heavy too because they were like, you know what I mean? Like these are us, like these dudes got a mind for themselves. Like we weren't taking no bullshit. We weren't like just like fucking off doing dumb shit. Like we may have did some. We used to piss them off because we was doing some shit and they're like. But man, y'all gotta be really smart about what y'all doing. As long as y'all getting y'all bread, y'all getting y'all shit right, you know what I mean? Just continue doing what you gotta do, you know what I mean? It was a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah,
dog.
we was just gang banging and rapping. We started rapping.
That was my next question was when did the rapping start? How did it start? Like talk a little bit about that.
So RP Darrell, that was Big Bro's god brother.
Yeah.
He passed away some years ago, almost a decade. But he really started us rapping. We was rapping. I still remember we was in his room. We was gonna audition for Zoom. We was young, like
Yeah.
that Nickelodeon shit.
That PBS, that
Yeah,
Zoom
so
shit.
we didn't know how to write music. We just wanted to be rappers. He was like, yo, I'm gonna write. He wrote the lyrics for us and stuff like that. I remember he looked at me. He was like, yo, hold up, before I write this, y'all like Jay-Z? We was like, I don't like Jay-Z. You know, like, I'm gonna be real. I don't really like him. Like they said, nah, you gotta get out. I'm like, nah, I like Jay-Z. I like
my favorite rapper.
DMX and Jay-Z was his favorite
But
rapper.
it like started from there. But when we really started like writing and pushing, and shout out to bro King Ace when he came around.
Yeah, for sure.
We was like, yo, bro, we rap. You know what I'm saying? He's like, rap, spit something. We freestyling and shit. He's like, yo, that was all right. I'm like, you rap? He's like, yeah. He was spitting some heat.
He was
like,
going
we
crazy.
was young, he was
He
spitting
was
some
going
heat.
crazy. He was
So
going
yeah,
crazy.
we came together. We was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
We came together. We like, yo, let's all rap together. We from the same hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? We bang the same thing. Let's put it out there. Look at Big Pun. Big Pun was a king. You know what I'm saying? All that. He putting his music out. He's doing good music. Let's do it. But we caught up in the streets too. So now we trying to make gangster music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
we was on that D block.
yeah, we was
heavy.
going hard. We making that gangster
Heavy.
music, and we never really rapped about what we do. When we got picked up by the feds, they used our music against us. They try to say that's what we rap. We don't rap about what we do. We rap about what the streets can relate to and what could actually happen in the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really from there, and we just been rapping ever since. We done did a lot of shows, all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Grown got to experience a lot of good shit, even with Chink Drugs RIP before he passed away. Got to open up for him, you know what I'm saying? Vibe up with him on the stage and shit before he passed away and all that. It was good times.
So you said that I mean you wasn't a Jay-Z fan particularly, right? Well, like who were some of your favorite or inspirations as far as like rappers?
So it was like Snoop. I don't know what it was about Snoop, but I was like, man, Snoop was the
Eminem,
dude, the
Tupac.
NWA.
Hell yeah, Bone
so-
Thugs and Harmony, man.
Yeah, we listened to some DMX. It was just the thing with Jay-Z is not like I didn't like Jay-Z. It was like he had some shit. Just that Jay-Z was just something I couldn't get into. It was not even like I didn't like him. Like I didn't think his music wasn't good. It was just like that just wasn't somebody I was like into. I'm like I like gangsters. He was like
he was like glorified like the drug dealer. That's how it was back in the day anyway, you know what I'm saying? The rappers glorified the drug dealers. I was glorifying the gangsters.
Right.
Like Tupac and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like Snoop, they were gangsters.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Jay's more like smooth, finesse, suave kind of deal, as opposed to that rugged,
Hell
like,
yeah.
shit.
NWA, gangsters, and then, you know what I'm saying?
On dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Ice Cube by himself, straight gangster.
Gangster. Like, that's what it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Real
That's what
talk.
fascinated me was the gangster life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, at what point do you actually realize that, you know, y'all are getting good or getting better? And how does this, when you start writing, do you notice like the improvement over time, or was it something y'all had a knack for it right away?
I feel like we didn't really notice the improvement. Like, I just feel like we writing and bro's like, yo, get more aggressive with this. I'm like, all right, cool. Because we just writing, but we not like, we still trying to discover our own flow, discover our own style
Our
and stuff
rhythm
like
and
that.
all that shit.
And then when we got people, what really opened us up is when we got other people outside of our circle and stuff listen to our music, like, yo, your shit's fire. Yo, bro, y'all getting way better.
Right.
Like, compared to what y'all used to write and how y'all used to flow, y'all getting way better.
The songs
tried the
got better,
versatile
the
shit.
flow got better, the words, everything got better. And I feel like even like to this day, like when I do a song and stuff like that, I always still feel like I can do better. I don't know why. I'm just like, I always overthink everything. And even I can sit there and bunch of like, this is my shit, but I always feel, I'd be like, I probably could have said this whole shit right here a little better, you know what I mean?
That was us in the studio the other day. We still do it to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
I
laid
always
out
try
for
to go
like 4
harder.
tracks, and I'm just saying one of them, I'm like, bro, I feel like I could have said that better. He's like, bro, that shit came. I'm like, nah, I feel like I could have did better.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You start overthinking stuff too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's really my
overthink.
problem.
Yeah.
Overthink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard somebody call it like paralysis by like over
Your
analysis.
mind,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's overthinking it too much.
Yeah.
You get to a certain point. You know what I mean? So, what's y'all like favorite part about rapping? Is it the writing? Is it the stage? Is it the recording in between?
Honest, for me, my favorite part of rapping, like anything music wise, is when I'm like, if I hear a beat and that shit grabs me and shit, you know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, this it. And then I'll come up with a bar, and then it's like each next bar is just hitting. I get excited off that shit. I start feeling good. You know what I mean? Even when it's like the pain shit, sometimes like I'm writing some shit, like I do a lot of freestyles where I express my pain. Like my last tape, Pain is Temporary, you listen through the whole thing, I express like mad of like what I was feeling, what I was going through, you know what I mean? Shit some of my boys went through, and I'm just like, every time I was just like come up with a line, like it feels better. Even when I really feel it, like there's been sometimes I want to fucking cry when I'm writing this song, you know what I mean? I'd be
That's
like,
when you
damn,
know
like this bar
that
was
shit's
crazy.
real and it touches you.
It's like that therapeutic value.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like me personally, he was on the pain. I'm trying to touch the same level as him, but it's just like I felt like to myself, I think I was like too angry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just came home. I just came up the feds, January 2022. I'm trying to get back into music. Bro's already, you know what I'm saying? He's already home already. He's doing in tune with the music. And I'm like, I want to get on the pain. Like, I like what you're doing. Like, that's hard. Like, that's the lane I want to be in. And I can't do it because I'm like so angry. I'm like so hurt from everything we went through and all that like, I can't let it out pain where I just want to be angry. And I'm like, this is what the fuck on, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard, but it's like, I still did it. He like doing songs, you know what I'm saying, that can relate to the women. He like doing songs that can relate to the pain. And he can do the drill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really be my inspiration sometimes when it comes down to making music and staying on focus, because he has way more motivation than I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I always just to tell him, like, yo,
He be busy as hell, though.
Yeah,
That's the take a cat life part I was saying about, you know what I mean? So he be like constantly busy and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I
But
mean,
it really
how
was-
is it juggling it? You know, life.
It
and
was
then the
it was
passion?
hard, bro. It was hard. Like, you know, so I took a little setback. Just getting back, and now that we just talking about, we just jumped in the stool. Been in for like 3 months. I had to take a little setback. Work was getting crazy, you know, just personal shit. I had to get my life together first. I feel like if I can't get myself together first, I'm gonna never be able to get what I want done the right way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That I want
That's a
no
fact.
distractions. So once I'm good with my personal life, I can be able to put my other life, the rapper I want to be, like, you know what I'm saying? I can get that on track and I can get this right without, you know what I'm saying, fuck it up, without doing too much. Because sometimes I be writing, I'm like, I'm doing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me delete that bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was being, now I'm falling off topic because I like everything to match. I don't want to be one of them rappers that just say something and be like the next bar just changed drastically.
Right, just say it 'cause
yeah,
it
just
rhymes.
to say something.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to be one of those. I want to
Yeah,
say
for
shit
sure.
that makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the only way I'm gonna be able to get something that makes sense is if I got a clear mind and I can only focus on one thing.
Okay. So before the feds come, right? Are you guys ever like co-defendants on any cases before?
Yeah.
So the first time, we've been in co-defendants on a few
few shit.
cases, but like the first time, and the last time I think before we actually caught this RICO case, I had this 60 days. That was the last time, and then we was together and shit, cause we got locked up, and I already had a case before. So when I went and said, I was so mad. I was like, I know it ain't his fault, but I was like, damn, cause they wanted him, you know what I mean, and shit like that, and they always would be like 2 for the price of 1. They did that to us mad times, and then there was so many times he didn't have to go to jail, I didn't have to go to jail, but they're like, twins, let's get them both. You know, we're gonna charge them both with the same shit. That shit was tough, man.
So, talk a little bit about like the events that lead up to like how the feds come. Is it like one of those things you see on the movies where the feds bust down your door? Or
Hell
is
yeah.
it...
Listen,
the feds came and they came. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we got picked up for conspiracy to racketeering, for the gang shit, for trafficking and all that. And we were just active, like, you know what I'm saying? But we getting money, like, you know what I'm saying? We active, but we getting money, and we trying to stay out the way. And you got other people that's over there just trying to
juggle multiple things at once for no reason.
People catching their own cases, now they want to turn because they can't deal with what, you know what I'm saying, the consequences of their own actions. That's really what it came down to. So now you got these people who are working, trying to lure people in to do certain shit to try to make it look like shit's being done their own, like, you know, without how I say, like,
without like their knowledge?
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yo, you need to do this, you know what I'm saying? Get your peoples together, do that, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, fuck, this person hold rank or whatever the fuck. Now we're gonna get our people together, you know what I'm saying? And they building cases off that. Oh, look. And it's like they're recording and they going back to the feds. Look at them. Look what they doing. But they ain't showing that you're the one that's making these people, you know what I'm saying, get in that position.
But they know that. But they know that. But this is what they want because they gonna get what they need.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
That's crazy. So, I feel like deep down, a lot of people know, like, they know when if shit hits the fan, they're gonna tell. I feel like a lot of people, they really know before, like, they're gonna tell. I don't know. I mean, what's your opinion on that? You think it's the pressure?
I feel like there be some motherfuckers just like
folding under pressure.
Yeah, man. And some motherfuckers just get like motherfuckers just can't hold no water. Like I don't even know how to explain it because I ain't never been in that to explain it. But it's like I
just feel like if you involved or if you're doing something that you know that could possibly risk your freedom or jeopardize, you know, you with your family and shit like that, and it comes down to you having to deal with certain consequences, take that as a man. Because now you're taking everybody else away from their family and jeopardizing their freedom because you can't stand in your own tent for what the fuck you done.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Detouring everybody else's life because you couldn't take that.
They gave me 30 months.
That's crazy.
And I lost 2.5 years from my family because another man couldn't stand up to his own shit.
Yeah, that's how it is more times than not. So talk about like that day, like that the feds come. Do they come early in the morning?
They hit everybody
man,
like
listen,
3, 4 in the morning.
Listen, I'll never forget because they couldn't find him. So like they found me. I was at my BM's crib in fucking Saugus at the time. So it was so crazy. I will never forget. It was like, I want to say it was like 4 and some change in the morning, and I heard something, and I just remember because I lay on my stomach, so I remember I just threw my head up, and then she was like, "What?" And I'm like, "You don't hear that shit?" And she was like, "Yeah, you're bugging out. Go back to sleep." And I put my head down. Then I was like, "Nah, you don't hear that shit." So I jump up and I look out the window and I just see a row of cars. Mind you, the part of Saugus, it was like right off the highway. So there was like no way. You're not supposed to park on the main road. Yeah. Everybody has a driveway. So when I see this row of shit, and then I see like utility trucks and shit, and I'm like, yo, I think Comcast is outside at 4 in the morning and shit. No bullshit. And then I was like, and then all of a sudden I hear like commotion, and I was like, yo, somebody's in the house. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like,
crazy.
Yo, bro's probably beating up his bitch and shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, you start thinking like logically, what could it be?
They always arguing and shit, but I heard tumbling and shit because I never heard them fight. I always heard them arguing. Right. And so I'm hearing boom, boom, and I'm like, yo, I think your brother's beating up like his bitch and shit. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I go to walk out, my oldest son, he was about 6 at the time. He comes walking in the room. He's like, Mom, somebody's here. And I'm like, somebody's here. So I go to I go towards the second door because it was a door here and then there's a second door before it gets to the second hallway. And so I go to crack that shit open, and my youngest son sleeping on the top bunk. As soon as I crack it open, I see this dude like this in handcuffs and shit. And there's a dude dripped down from head to toe in army like uniform, helmet on. He had the fucking the night vision goggles, everything, right? So he has him handcuffs, and as soon as I'm about to wake up my son and shit, and I go to close the door, dude busts that shit open. He was like, jackpot. He was like, jackpot, get the fuck on the floor. So when he told me to get on the floor, I start to get on my knees and shit, and I might put my hands over my head. He's like, crawl backwards to me, and then the other one comes out and they just screaming jackpot. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, they really try to put my kids in handcuffs and shit. So he's like, there's a kid on the bed. Go put him in handcuffs. My fucking BM starts flipping out. How old? He was only 3 at the time, bro. So then he's like, it's him, and there was another one. So he's trying to put him in handcuffs, and my BM starts flipping, right? So now they put me in handcuffs. They bringing me downstairs. When we go downstairs, there's like 8 more of them, and they all got fucking they all got like excuse my language. They all got big ARs and all that stuff like that, and then like pistols on their hip. And I'm like, so they sit me downstairs on the table, and everybody's just like in army uniform, and I'm like so confused. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So dudes is coming up from the basement. They're like, jackpot. I swear to God, I'm not even exaggerating. I was seeing dudes from the back window with the night vision on. So I guess they was trying to see if I was gonna leave through the back. So then yo, bro, this is when it felt like a movie to me, right? So I'm sitting down there like, shut the fuck up. The dude's gonna come in here and talk with you. I'm like, dude, what dude? Who's the dude? Dude took like a few minutes, and when he comes in, he literally had, you know, the blue jackets that says FBI in yellow and stuff. He walks in with that. He was the nicest motherfucker in there. Yeah. He's like, hey, calm down. Son. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I'm gonna tell you in a second. He's like, yeah, Alexis, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right. And I'm like, what am I charged with? He was like, oh, I'll tell you. I forget what the fuck what RICO mean, but he read that shit out loud, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you're a Latin king, right? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what is that? He's like, you're getting charged with the RICO, but don't worry, we'll talk more when we get down to the federal building and shit. So I guess around that same time, my BM called my mom's, and my mom's is calling him to let him know, like, yo, you know what I mean, like where you at, whatever. I don't even know if he answered or not and stuff like that, because I'm over here going through this. I'm going through this whole situation. Yo, bro, right? When they bring me to the federal building in Chelsea and shit, right? I walk in there, I see two of my boys from the hood. They already in their book and shit like that, because a couple of them lived in Chelsea and shit. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? This and that. And then they pull me to the side, and they're like, yo, where's your brother? And I'm like, you mean, where's my brother? You should know. You found me. He's like, oh, we can't find him. You either tell us where he at. He's like, we got the guys outside right now, your mom's house. You really want to bust that door in? And I forget what her age was at the time, but he said her age. He's like, you don't want her going through that trauma at that age. And I'm like, yo, knock first. I said, that's all I'm saying, knock first. So he's like, yo, listen, we're going to flip the whole shit. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Yo, if I'm not mistaken, I think they called my mom right there. Or it was when I got to the courthouse, and they were like, yo, either you give him up or you're going to jail. We're going to arrest you and charge you with everything or whatever we find in that house. And then fucking, I don't know, I think that's probably when she called him or something like that.
My sister called me. I'm in bed. My sister called me. My sister like to call me drunk at a certain time, which is really, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm half asleep. I'm looking at her. I'm like, man, I'm not answering. I know her. She's calling me drunk. She just want to talk shit, like fuck around. I'm just like, she called me again. I know it's an emergency.
Right.
She called me back the second time, so I'm like, oh, it must be an emergency. And so I'm like, yo, what's up? She's like, yo, you good? I'm like, what you mean? Yeah, I'm chilling, I'm sleeping. She was like, they just picked up Lexi for racketeering. I'm like, I jumped up like, what the fuck you mean racketeering? I'm like, yo, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm with my BM at the time, so, and I'm just looking at her, she's like, yo, what happened? I'm like, they just picked up Lexi for racketeering. That's that same shit they just got 6ix9ine for. I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm looking out the window. She's like, yo, calm down. I'm like, nah, fuck that. They're gonna be here soon. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just panicking. Right. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking out the window. I'm like, what the fuck? Crazy. She's like, yo, they got him right now. They're picking everybody. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta start calling everybody, making sure everybody good. Nobody's answering. My little brother answers. I'm like, yo, where you at? He's like, man, I'm at Shorty crib. I'm just like, yo, they picking everybody up now for racketeering. Yo, I don't know if you on that list or what, but I heard they looking for me. And I called my sister back. I'm like, yo, go check mom's crib, make sure it's straight, because I know that's what I had an address over there. So I'm like, she went over there, and probably like an hour or two later, yo, they got mom in handcuffs. She's crying. You need to come turn yourself. They talking about they found shit in the house. I'm just like, found shit in the house? I don't even got shit in the house but some weed and some money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wow. So I'm just like, they talking about they finding all these guns and all this shit. I'm like, oh, fuck, now I got to go turn myself in. So I'm calling, I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I don't know, they might be lying because I don't got no guns in the house. I don't got none of that shit. It's just some weed. I'm like, what they gonna do with my mom with something? Probably like a fucking couple ounces. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I had 30K stashed. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know for a fact they ain't find it. I had a stash in the jacket. So, you know what I'm saying? I had a hole in the jacket. It had just had a hole, so I started stuffing through. I'm
One
like,
of them old Pelly type codes.
yeah, so I had a stash in there. So I'm just like, yo, they ain't find that. I know they ain't find it. They just talking about the weed, that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm calling my cousin, like, yo, where you at? He's like, I'm in the crib. I'm like, you in your crib? He's like, nah, I'm in one of my shorty's crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm about to pick you up. We got to get missing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So my sister keep calling me, where are you? Come turn yourself. I'm like, oh, sis, I'm going to turn myself in. I need to figure this shit out. I'm trying to call a lawyer. I called my BM's cousin, because that was just my man's, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog, you know what I'm saying? So every time I talk to him, I know he's just going through a fat case. So I know he got a lawyer. He had paid. I'm like, yo, listen, I need a lawyer. He put me onto this lawyer. I guess I used to represent Whitey Bulger. So, you know, something I'm like, this must be a good thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're picking us with a RICO. They're getting us with, like, mafia type shit. So I'm calling him. I call the lawyer. Lawyer's like, yo, come pull up over here. My sister's still panicking. She's like, I'm outside. My mom in the background. Fuck that. Tell him don't turn himself in. She's like, tell that motherfucker to keep running. I'm just like, yo, mom, crazy. She said, they ain't got shit. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So then the police get on the line. I'm like, man, put the cop on the phone. I'm like, yo, why you got my mom in cuffs? He's like, well, you know, we find some shit in here. You're gonna come turn yourself in? I was like, listen, y'all take my mom off the cuff. I want to go turn myself in. But I was like, y'all gonna make sure y'all take her out the cuffs? She's like, oh yeah, she's good. You gonna come turn? I'm like, yeah. But it was like, what do y'all want from me? He's like, we just want to talk. I'm like, y'all want to talk, or am I going to jail? No, we just want to talk. I'm like, you sure? He's like, maybe you're going to jail.
That's a lot for a conversation.
He was like, you talking mad weird. He's like, no, we just want to talk. Maybe you're going to jail, but let's just talk. I'm like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, I hanged up. I called my sister back. She was like, they took mom off the handcuffs. They said you're coming to turn yourself in. I was like, yeah, I'm going to the lawyer's office. The lawyer's gonna take me in. Smart. So I go to the I pick bro up, I pick my cousin up, I go to the lawyer's office. Lawyer's like, yo, yeah, good thing you turn yourself in with me, because they do some weird shit. You go and turn yourself straight to them. They might get crazy with you and all that shit. So I'm like, cool, whatever. We end up turning ourselves in. No, we driving for a minute. So I'm just like, fuck. I'm driving around, bro. It's like, yo, I'm not going there. I'm like, man, me either. Fuck, all my money's in the crib. I don't got no money on me, bro. Like, how we gonna run? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
with no money.
With no money. Oh, he's like, you ain't got nothing stashed. I'm like, bro, all my money stashed in the crib. You know what I'm saying? They saying they found it. Who knows if they found that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it. Y'all just take my car, but I'm turning myself in. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was like, everybody was like, you know what? Fuck it. You turn yourself in, bro. Then fuck it. I'm gonna turn yourself in too. I'm like, plus they got bro. I found out they got my other cousin. And then everybody from the hood. I'm like, bro, I can't let everybody go. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I want to run, I got no funds to hold myself down running. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, and I can't let everybody go down on their own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, might as well just get the shit over with. So we like, yeah, we go to the headquarters. And I see everybody in there. I'm talking about everybody. And then everybody now just hears, yo, y'all know who's missing? Dog's missing. Why he in here? And then, you know, they got a bunch of people higher up in there too. Yeah, y'all know who's missing too? Dog's missing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why ain't they here? They talking about they got everybody but 2 people. And it was fucking 2 other people that was on the list that were like out of state somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? That been missing. This investigation was going on for, like, they said 10 years, but it goes back 3 years.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, over 10 years, but it goes back 3 years as far as when the shit got heavy and shit. So we was like 60 something deep in there. Damn. It was like 62, 63 co-defendants, something like that.
They had
like,
shit from 2008.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wicked, and they just start taking the fingerprints and all that shit. They done already went up to court. It's early in the morning, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? By the time we turned ourselves in, it was like 11, 12 in the afternoon. They done got picked up 3, 4 in the morning. They picked everybody up. Everybody done went to court already. So most of them already, they start shipping guys out. Most of them went to Plymouth. Other ones went to like Norfolk.
Dedham.
I think that same spot, whatever the fuck. But like Walpole, they had to hold us in there, and then the rest of us, the last bus, we went to Wyatt.
Okay, y'all both went to Wyatt?
We separate. Nah, me and my little brother went to Wyatt.
They sent Plymouth, man. That was torture.
He was the first bus. I was like, damn. I was like, yo, this shit crazy. I'm glad I wasn't on that first bus. Plymouth wicked.
Yeah, I was in Plymouth in 05 just for a few months, man.
That shit is horrible,
bro.
Yeah. He was supposed to be there, because when I got to the Plymouth jail, they had us meeting with the Ips and the dude that ran the jail, and the dude and the chick that ran the jail. And when I got in there, the Ips was like, where's your brother? And where's your little brother? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And he's like, I was expecting 3 of the brothers today. And I'm like, fuck, I
It's like they had
fucking
everything
know.
planned out there.
Yeah,
like,
they
so
already had,
like,
yeah,
we know
they had
we're gonna
everything
catch these
set up.
guys, and we know where we sending them. Like
Yup.
they try, you know what I'm saying?
It was crazy.
Would they try to send everybody to different units?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were gonna
turn people
They
together.
were gonna clear a whole unit first and shit like that. But then there was like there's too many people from like Brockton and fucking some people from like Boston that got arrested in Brockton that got murdered, beef with each other. They were like, it's just gonna be people sent back. It's gonna be too many people in the hole and shit. And they're like, they just split. So literally they had like there'll be 5 people in this unit, 5 people in that unit. When I got to my unit, I was the only bro there. Everybody else was like random geekers that got picked up. Because they picked up random people too. Like people that done shook this motherfucker's hand or even said what up to this dude in the midst of them being investigated got snatched up. So when I'm looking around, I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck? Where's not one of my bros and shit? And I'm seeing the rest of the bros leaving in 3s over here, 2s over there. And I'm like, what the fuck? They really put me by myself and shit. But because I had a leadership role, they didn't want me around everybody else and shit like that because they were saying I was going to like, just in case I influence something.
Not organizing something.
Yeah.
They did.
So,
That's
how long do y'all like sit trial before eventually? What is it, a plea deal or do you go to trial?
Yeah, most of us are. Well, getting everybody. I don't think nobody took that shit
they
to trial.
Because they were talking
The evidence was wicked.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
I heard it's not a good move to go against trial in the feds anyway.
Yo, I tell you
I
what.
sat for like a year before I got sentenced.
They talk so super crazy, and then the moment you be like, yeah, I'm ready to take a plea deal, they'll start dropping mad shit. So it's like fucking, we was sitting there like, man, we ain't saying shit, we ain't taking shit, we ain't this and that. And then they just started speaking real crazy, and I would never forget, me, my bro Ace, and Nene, we was at one point we all ended up on the same unit together, and I remember telling them like, yo, they trying to smoke Twin, bro, like they trying to smoke him and shit, they trying to hit him with some crazy. I was like, I'm about to just ask him like, yo, like do some Bobby and Rowdy type shit. I'll take more time and shit, cause they were saying all this shit about me, but they, from what I seen in the 290 page shit, there wasn't really shit. So I was just like, you know, I'm willing to take more time and shit, just to get this shit out the way and shit. And then when we start going through evidence, they had like 500,000 more files and shit. And then when we see shit, I was like, what the fuck, bro?
When the discovery came, that shit was like 20,000, 30,000
Dude, just for my hood alone was 40,000 files of evidence, bro. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck? And then I'll never forget, we did a 3-way. Me and him, like, I think we was like,
it was already like 6-7 months in.
Yeah, 6-7 months in without a speaker from the day we got locked up. And when we finally got to do the 3-way and shit like that, I remember we was speaking. He's like, "Yo, hold your head up, and shit." Cause we identical twins. Like he was always saying,
Yeah, we ain't never
"Yo,
been,
you in
we
there
never been
stressing,
really
nigga?"
separated from each other like
That was the longest.
Yeah. I remember he was like, "Yo, nigga, you in there stressing?" I was like, "Nah, nigga, I'm just in here eating." He was like, "Well, something's up, nigga." He was like, "Cause I ain't stressing." And he was like, "I can feel it, nigga. Just keep it cool, nigga. We gonna be good, nigga." And I was like, "Yeah, nah, no doubt or whatever." And then the next time we try to speak, we didn't get to speak. Then my sister passed a message like, "Yo, this nigga saying he's about to cop out. He think you should do the same." And then that's when I was just like,
I remember I was fighting for a little bit because, like I said, I had that paid lawyer, and he's like, "Yo, you ain't getting no affidavit. You ain't getting none of this shit because you get it in there. Somebody might get this paperwork. They read it, then they go and try to like make shit up like you told them information and try to, you know, say make it worse for you.
against you and shit.
So I'm like, how the fuck? Oh my, I'm seeing everything he don't want to give me. I'm seeing it from my codees that's in the unit with me. I'm like, how the fuck all these motherfuckers getting all this work? My lawyer told me he got nothing for me. Right. I'm like, dude, this shit's crazy. So I'm reading this shit. I'm like, this shit's wicked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these allegations is wild. Like I'm just like, this shit crazy. I don't even want to read this shit, but I'm reading it. But I'm like, I don't want to read this shit. Like this, it sounds so crazy. And then I was like, it got to the point. I'm like, yo, I already got 10 bands into that lawyer. I'm just like, yo, I'm firing your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is like months down the line. He seen me. He seen me like 3 times. My Cody's going back and forth to their lawyers getting all this mail and the shit, and I don't know nothing. I'm just in the blind. I'm like, bro, I've never sat in jail longer than like that said 2 to 3 weeks, and once a month hit, I'm like, dog, when am I going home? I'm used to getting bailed out. I'm used to going on bail. Like the feds don't give bail, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? You either telling or you got houses, properties, or shit like that. I'm like, dog, guess I'm saying everybody trying to go to bail because of the COVID shit. I remember I'm seeing everybody shit denied from my Cody shit because they getting the papers, the lawyer getting the paper, this getting denied. And then I told my lawyer, I'm like, yo, tell them I want to go for bail, see if they give me bond for the COVID shit. the AUSA right back. Tell him if he tries to go for bond, we're gonna make it worse for him. I was like, tell him I'll sit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember he told me too. He was like, yo, just sit. He was like, cause we gonna end up doing time regardless.
I asked my lawyer, I remember asking, I'm like, yo, you think we guarantee time? He's looked at me. He looked sad as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just there like, you think we gonna do time? He's like, yeah, everybody.
all that's credit though, right? So
Yeah,
when
it
you
was
wait
credit.
trial, right?
All that's
That's
credit.
what I was telling him. I'm like, bro, don't even bond now. Just sit there, because all these motherfuckers that did make bond because of the COVID, because they had all this asthma and all this shit like that, they're gonna come back to do their time while we walking out this door.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Absolutely. I look at it the same way.
I
Like,
was so mad though. I was getting denied because I was like, I ain't never had no fucking criminal
Right, it's
record.
the principle.
Why you denying me
That's what
bail?
made me think too. I'm like, yo, you
I said,
know
why
what?
they deny me
denying this
bail?
motherfucker. They barely got shit on him, so they're
Right.
definitely gonna deny.
Yo,
him.
and then I
There's
had
no
to
point.
find my lawyer for the same shit because as his lawyer, because my codees is showing me all this shit. They're like, yo, bro, this is what you need to say. And I'm like, say what? And then they're like, yo, look at this. And I'm like, where you getting this shit from? And I remember, I will never forget, I told my lawyer, I was like, yo, I need this and that. He said, you can't get that. Then I give it. I was like, everything you telling me I'm not getting, I'm watching, I'm reading it from my codees. He's like, oh, you are? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, and I hung up. Then I called him back. I was like, yeah, I think you need to resign. He was like, is that what you want to do? I was like, yeah, I think you need bangs on me.
Wow.
Yo, I was like, this dude's a fucking asshole, man.
So what was the eventual pleas? You said what was it? 30 months?
Yeah, 30 months.
30
So,
months.
I got 21. They tried to give me the same as him because at first they were trying to give him 44, and then they went down to
41
30.
to 51 months.
Yeah, and then they went down to 30, but the DA was trying to ask for more because when I got sentenced and shit, everything that I was reading, everything that I was seeing and stuff that they said they were using against me, even on the what's that?
The music was the main shit. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
it was
saying
just
the
the
music.
music.
We're promoting violence. We're trying to further the gang.
encourage
We're
people to
talking about
commit crimes.
The actual shit that happened in the street. I'm like, first of all, like that's just wicked. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to Discovery just to listen to my music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's so much shit going here, and I was like, I don't hear nothing.
And
I'm
it's
hearing
still-
regular like gangster shit. Like,
And
you know
at
what
the
I'm
end of the
saying?
day, I still got charged with drugs.
That's crazy.
And they ain't had nothing on me for drugs, bro. Nothing at all. So they got me for that. And just like conspiracy. I was like, that shit is
Yeah,
crazy,
I heard
dog.
the feds don't play. I had one dude, like, they call it like ghost drugs. Just
Yeah.
because someone said that he trafficked
Yes.
700 pounds.
Exactly,
they had no
bro.
bud at all.
That's real
So
shit.
that's what happened to me because I asked
And
my lawyer.
hearsay, that's
Yep.
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
I asked
hearsay,
the
that's
lawyer,
exactly
I'm
what
like,
that is.
Yo, so I gotta plead guilty to drugs. What kind of drugs is it? Because I see they're only talking about drugs. He was like, oh, I don't know. So I'm like, so you mean I gotta plead guilty to fucking drugs? They don't know what I sold or how much of it I
It's
sold?
just some drug.
Right.
Like, oh, they're saying that one of your co-defendants showed you a white bag. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
They
crazy.
can't tell if it's crack or cocaine or whatever it is. They just know it was a white substance.
And because
they
I
think
peeked
it's drugs.
and because I leaned over and looked at the drug, you get that shit was crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
They
So-
said they got that on footage of. That's crazy, bro.
So since you brought up how they were bringing up the raps, I want to touch on that. Like, how do you like approach rapping now? Or what advice would you give to somebody with their rapping? Like, don't be specific. Obviously,
Yeah.
we see what happened
Yes,
with a lot of
bro.
other people. So
Yes, let me tell you what. The judge, when I got sentenced and stuff like that, she told me straight up. She said, "Yo, look." She didn't say, "Yo," but she's like, I do believe like your music is wanting people to join the Latin Kings, encourage them to commit crimes, this and that. But I wrote a letter and stuff like explaining my music, my passion for music, my thing. She was like, I love the letter you wrote, and she was like, and you know what? I encourage you to keep doing music. I want you to keep doing music. She was like, but I do advise, be careful on what you're saying because we are listening. She was like, because if you think we're not, we're listening. She was like, so just be a little more mindful of what you're saying. She was like, you ain't got to be saying all that extra stuff you're doing. I was like,
Absolutely.
yo, his lawyer, in my defense, used a line from his verse in the song. Bro.
that's crazy.
I was like, yo, this dude really did that, man.
That's crazy.
Straight up.
I mean, you must have been like kind of a little bit surprised by that. Like, it must not have like seemed real. Like, they're really using my music.
It really did it.
Because they have
It
music
really
from
did
when,
it.
like I said, from when we first started making music, like 14, 15, they used a song from there saying that we was talking about, you know what I'm saying, just crazy type of violence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people you just talking about, you know what I'm saying, crazy
Everything,
violence. And
murder,
I'm just
drug
like,
shootings, all that.
I'm like, what the fuck? They was like, yeah,
like-
they talking about, the song is called Put 'Em in the Dirt. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah.
And I'm just like, they're like, yeah, right there, we believe that they're talking about people being put in the dirt. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's just, like, that's the first time we ever made it. That was just this a loopy song. It wasn't even, like,
Right,
actual
exactly.
facts of anything. That's just us just rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, to this day, I see, like, young kids, I'm smoking on this person, I'm smoking on that. They start name dropping and shit. I'm like,
Name dropping for real.
I'm like, these motherfuckers must not be 18 yet or something like that because the film, maybe when you get 18, the feds might come pick your ass up
Yo,
because
and
they're
the-
going to start thinking you talking
and they'll
about
wait.
actual situations.
situations. Like what we ran through weren't even actual situations. That's just them like jumping the gun or just assuming or just like you know what I'm saying or thinking certain shit
hypotheticals, general, speaking in general,
they
what I
always-
might do.
They always try to match something you said to something that they already investigating that you may be on type shit. So they try to add it all together.
So they're talking about putting someone in the dirt 10 years before a crime is even committed, but trying to say, see, they talk about like
see,
this
they
happened,
talking
the
about-
time, the math don't even matter.
Exactly.
Like,
Shit
that
don't
shit
make
blow
no
my
sense.
mind. I'm just like,
They'll try to make it seem like it's premeditated like that. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
like
crazy.
they talking about how they'll they're furthering the gang, representing the gang, whatever, and talking about what they'll do to rival gang members if they, you know what I'm saying, if they was to pass through their hood, pass through their block, this was gonna happen to them, shit like that.
I think they try to use something on Dirk with the Quando Rondo situation. Because one of his things he had said something about like just in general, like have you on the news crying, you know, and then that's
he
what
used his
really
voice-
happened.
He used his voice on it too of him screaming no.
Well, someone put that after
AI.
because the song. Well, the point is that song was before any of that even like happened. You know what I mean? Or before the whole King Von thing.
My man 7981 Cal and G Fredo and them, like you know what I'm saying. Cal was in there with me too. He used to go to the yard, you chop it up in the window all the time. He going through the same shit because of the music. You know what I'm saying? G Fredo wasn't there. I think he was sitting in Nash, but they going through the same shit. They're saying they reenacting a murder. Like you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like that's fucked up. Like man can't just make music. That's just crazy. Like you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And they got what like a good 10 years or something like that.
9 years.
So talk about that when you get sentenced. Right now you're in Plymouth, you're in Wyatt. I mean, what's the next move? Do y'all both go to like New York after, or do y'all end up running into each other at all?
For me, so by the time, because I got sentenced to 21 months, so by the time I got sentenced and shit, I think I was already about 18 months in, yeah. So I was waiting to get shipped out and shit, and then the feds didn't want to waste the bread on me to get moved out, so they damn near made me sit my whole time straight. In Plymouth and shit, I was tight.
Oh, wow.
I got 13 months in. I was like 12 to 13 months in when I got sentenced. Then from there, I'm sitting in Y for like another month. They gave me 30 months. I'm coming back from court. Everybody's like, "Yo, you made out." I'm like, "Nah, nigga, the fuck? I ain't never did time. Like this shit's crazy." They used some old shit to give me hands because I played out. My shit was 21 to 31 months. And that was with the reduction for accepting responsibility and my offense level starting. I got the 4 points for the leadership and 1 point for some fentanyl they found in my house, which I think the informant stashed that in there because I never touched that type of drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I'm just there. I'm there getting that, and I come back. They're like, "Yo, you got 30?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. What the fuck? I thought I was gonna go home after like 18 months or something like that. You know, 19 months." She fucking said 30 months. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but you know what? They was like, could be worse. I'm like, you right. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at 0 to 20. At least I didn't have a minimum mando. Like, you know what I'm saying? That fentanyl would have gave me a minimum mando. Because when they weighed it, the lawyer was like, yo, it was like 29 grams. You was 11 grams short from hitting the minimum 5 mando for that fentanyl. Wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, dog, like, what the fuck? I'm just like getting shit from all angles. They gave me an enhancement from a stolen car case I had when I was 15. I thought they can't go back that far if it ain't violence. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got to go back 10 years. They went back 15 years. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So I get there. I'm like, all right, cool. I come back. I'm sitting for like, I'm in the moving to the kitchen. I'm sitting there for like another month. I get shipped out. I get shipped down to, I'm thinking I'm going to Oklahoma. That's what they telling us. We're going to Oklahoma. So I'm like, fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? My little brother just touched the unit. My brother sad as shit in the window. He just got sentenced like a fucking few weeks. He's like, man, you leaving already,
and you're leaving,
bro.
yeah, it does.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see me and my brother, we touched the unit a couple times. We were together for like 2 weeks. He left to the kitchen. He was in and out the hole, just, you know what I'm saying? He young, you know what I'm saying? He wilding in there. So, and he gets, by the time he touched the unit again with me months later, I get shipped to the kitchen. So right after I got sentenced. So I get shipped to the kitchen. He touches the unit. He's there for 3 days. I get shipped out the building now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you going to Oklahoma to the layover. And I'm like, all right, cool. We get on the car and we drive to the airport. There's like a bunch of us Plymouth. That's when I see my other Cody. He got 18 years, free G. He got 18 and a half
free
years.
G.
Yeah, he got 18 years. I seen them on coming out the bus from Plymouth. The Plymouth block pulled up. They hopping in. I'm the last one to hop on the bus with the guys from Wyatt. We get there. Man, we ended up in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm like, the fuck? I thought we going to Oklahoma. Like, what the fuck happened here? Man, they put us on a bus. Bus stank like fucking piss. It was crazy, like how crazy that bus was. I'm saying that we were driving for like 3 hours. We end up in what's it called? Tallahatchie. Mississippi. I'm like, Tallahatchie, ain't this like Florida or something?
Right,
like,
right,
I never been here, I never
right,
heard
the
of it. It was
capital
like,
is
nah,
Tallahassee.
I'm seeing, I'm seeing all these cotton fields. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Where the hell we going? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we get up in
Thinking
there.
the Fed's gonna take you out, bro.
Yo, bro, I'm like, yo, bro, they motherfuckers just transport us with big ass fucking M16s and all that shit.
Oh, no.
I'm just like, I remember getting on the plane and they got it shackled down from the waist to the fucking the handcuffs to the waist to the ankles. I went to look back to see my codium. I'm like, yo, what up? The bitch like, turn your fucking head, don't you fucking look. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? I'm just I seen bro in mad long, like, you know what I'm saying? 14 months, a good dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He happy as shit to see me too. He's like, you know what I'm saying? And so then we get to that jail, I'm just like, they giving us these blue suits, they checking us out. I'm like, where the fuck is Oklahoma? I'm thinking we about to get, they talking about this tablets over there and all that shit. I'm like, yo, we about to get the tablet, finally get to FaceTime my kids.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit happened, bro. It was the worst spot ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? We there for 2 months and that's transit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm there for 2 months, bro. I'm just like, bro, we didn't, it was like every 2 days they're pulling somebody up for quarantine for coming out positive for COVID. So now we're delaying our fucking transfer. Everybody trying to find out where's our destination.
Right.
I'm thinking I got low points. I'm like, bro, I'm calculating my own shit. Somebody calculating, I'm like, yeah. And I got like 10, 11 points, man. I'm going to a low.
Yep.
So I'm telling my Cody, and Cody's like, damn, bro, I got like this much points. I'm going to a medium. If anything, probably a pen. I'm like, I'm like, shit, I see you there. I'm probably going to Fort Dix. I heard it's sweet over there. I'm going to give you a phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. It was wicked in Mississippi, bro. So we start rioting in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because now they ain't giving us our canteen. That we got money in our commissary. They ain't letting us order canteen. They ain't bringing us outside. It's already like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in. We trying to figure. We want answers. They're not giving us answers. So we like, fuck it. We all came to the conclusion like, yo, we gonna sit down on the seats, and if you have to sit on the floor, sit on the floor. So when they come in, we're gonna tell the police that what's going on. We need answers up in here. Like y'all keep fucking taking people out with COVID instead of testing the whole unit to see who got COVID to get everybody out at once, so we don't have to keep fucking going back into quarantine, which is delaying our transfer. Cause we trying to go home. I'm trying to hurry up and get to my destination,
And
make it to a halfway house.
Real quick too, being like a transit place, like, are you able to buy like certain stuff, radios?
We can buy all that shit, and then it was just like, but that transit where we was at is not like Oklahoma. If we would have been buying all the food, all the Tupperwares, like, you know what I'm saying, the shit they give you, you could take that with you to the prison. We're in a fucking county, Tallahatchie County, that first of all, looked like a fucking warehouse, bro. That's how big
crazy.
it was, bro. Like, the unit was huge. It's motherfuckers I ain't seen for 2-3 days. I thought they went home. I'm seeing them 4 days later. Like, yo, where the fuck you been at, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
On the other side.
Yeah, on the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying?
On the other side of the fucking map.
And the commissary they had, everything's in bulks, like going to BJ's, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when we finally got us touching that shit, but it's like we just pissed off. Like, yo, they keep trying to lock us down. We rigging our doors. Yo, one time they didn't come to work, bro, for like 2 days because they got an inch of snow. They're like, oh, you mask guys brought the snow. Man, like we was rigging the door. We got one of the inmates is walking out the unit to the next building. Like, you got police just opening doors. They ain't even seeing him with nothing. He's grabbing the cart, coming right back in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then finally, it's like they had enough of us, bro.
But so what ended up happening when y'all sat down and on the floor?
So we sat down, right?
So
we sat down. They was like, y'all gotta lock in. We like, we ain't locking in until we get some answers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something gotta give. We trying to get to our destination. Some of us got a short time where we trying to get to a halfway house, you know what I'm saying, where we trying to just reach our spot, period. And it's like, oh, nah, y'all gotta lock in, or if not, we're gonna flip this whole unit. Like, there was mask up. They had the fucking pellet guns and them paintball looking guns. So they was like, nah. Then there was we got a bunch of dudes. Some motherfuckers don't know English and shit like that. So they start standing up. Now they feeling like we're being hostile. Like, you know what I'm saying? We try to get everybody to sit down so they don't think we're trying to be hostile, so we can get these answers. Right. Man, all I know, they walked out and we there. So now I'm just like, yo, they look like they're about to come. They're being a bacon. Yo, these cans of pepper spray were like this long, bro. And I put the mask on, the shirt over my face. They came in like swap. One of them ran to the right, and the other one ran to the left. And it was just like they just start shooting all that. Yo, one dude tried to run to his cell. He fell on the ground. Dude stood over him and started spraying his whole body. This man looked like an Oompa Loompa. Like,
Yo,
that's how
that's
orange.
foul.
That's how orange he was. I thought
That's
he died,
foul.
bro. I didn't see this man for like a month later when we finally got shipped out. He came back to the unit. I'm like, bro, I thought you died. Like, what the fuck? I seen him dragging his body out the unit. His whole back is orange.
Almost got an R.I.P. tattoo from bro.
Like, and it was an
They
older
almost
dude
took
too.
him
So I'm
out.
like, bro, I thought you died. He's like, nah, man, they put me in another unit. And like, I was like, then they
Pepper
sent me
sprayed
back.
his ass and switched him on
So
the
now
block.
they calling
Yeah, they ain't
people.
tryna hear
We
that.
finally wait. If some people's getting shipped out, they call some guys that they knew was going to the pen. So I'm like, all right, cool. They get shipped out. Finally, they start calling names. So I'm like, they called my co-D first. They called him and this other dude that was with him in Plymouth because he said he already knew. He found out from his lawyer where he was going. He said, I'm going to Hazelton. He's like, yo, G, you going there too. So I'm like, all right, cool. They're going. All of a sudden, they say my name. I'm like, nigga, what you mean I'm going to Hazel? I'm going to Fort Dix. Maybe they're dropping me off on the way. I got low points.
Like you know more than them.
Like,
they're
they
wrong.
might be dropping me off on the way. Man, we was on that long ass bus ride back to fucking Tennessee, back on the plane, and when we get to the airport in PA, it's like fucking mad buses like spread out like wings. It's like 5, 6, 7 buses. I see females getting off the bus, like they're swapping everybody. Now everybody's getting off the plane is going on these buses, and everybody's getting off those buses is going on the plane. Wow. So I ended up on the same bus as my co-defendant. I'm like, yo, why the fuck am I going with you, bro? Like, they gotta be dropping me off on the way up. Like, they gotta be.
Like I think it's on the way.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm like, nah, bro, I can't be going there. What the fuck? I'm like, I got low
Two
points.
opposite
Like, you know what I'm
directions.
saying?
So there's no classification board, nothing
Now
on
what-
paper that tells you
at that
this
point
is...
nobody was going to New York because of COVID. That's
that,
why
that
nobody
was our
was.
classification, but it was like when we first got in there, it's either you asked the lady who was filling out these paperwork, like filling out your name, your thing, your Fed ID number. If they feel in a good mood, they would have told you where you was going. That's how certain people knew where they was going.
But wouldn't you know like your points at least, like pen points or median points?
They give you a paper and it shows you. So you get your age. You get certain points. If you got a GED or not, you get certain points. Like certain points like 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah,
then it's like the severity of your case. You get certain points for that too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So pretty much though, you did all the math in your head though and
Yeah,
thought
so
you were
I'm getting-
going. But there was no actual
spot for me.
paper
Especially
or
because we
telling
ain't
you
had no
exactly.
criminal record.
It was
Yeah,
just
it
your
was-
own math.
Exactly. Only the staff knew, and they wasn't telling nobody.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Only certain people they were telling to.
They wasn't trying to get nobody
when they called him off the bus, they're like, "Yo, everybody's going here." You know what I'm saying? They called my co-D off the call, and then I'm the last one to get called. I'm like, why the fuck am I ending up in this bus? And I was like, that's everybody's going to fucking West Virginia. I'm thinking I'm going to New Jersey. I'm like, maybe they dropped me off somewhere else on the way up. Yo, we stopped at a camp or some shit. I'm like, maybe I got camp points. They stopped there. They called dude off. I'm like, I think they forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I think they forgot about me. Let dude off. Then we ended up in Hazelton. So we playing with one dude we met in there. We get up. They passed the fucking median. We go all the way to the top of the hill in Hazelton to the USP, and I'm near the front. So I looked over, and the police left the sheet of paper there, and I see the dude's face on it. He's the first sheet, and it says he's going to the pen. I'm like, yo, bro, you going to the pen, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? We start laughing. He looked nervous as fuck. Like, bro, don't be nervous. Like, it is what it is. Like, you good, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, just. I came from a medium the last time I was here. Like, why am I going to a pen? Man, they told everybody to get off the bus. I'm like, what the fuck? So we all get off there. We in the USP, and we in the corner. I forget what unit it was, but we in there, and we all went in the back. They took one unit specifically and made it just quarantine. So the bottom was everybody who's going to USP, and the top is everybody that's going to the medium, and the last 2 cells were like everybody's going to the camp. I go to my door, I got the green paper on there. It says I'm going to the medium. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? Dog, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is whatever. Yo, my first day there, I'm looking out the window. I see, now it's rec time. We don't get no rec. We coming up for 5. We there for, we were supposed to be there for like 2 weeks. We ended up there for almost 30 days because they forgot about us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They told us they really forgot about us. They thought to put us to a unit. I'm looking out the window my first week there. I don't know if it was a white dude, Spanish dude, but he's walking down like the other yard. I'm seeing motherfuckers tied up, look like gangland, the show gangland.
Right.
Crazy looking motherfucker. I see dude walking down, big dude. I seen 2 short dudes walk up to him, and the dude just stopped. They just start swinging on dude. One dude, I seen him just like punching on the side. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker can't. The little dude just like this. He's like punching him in the rib. All of a sudden, I seen the hand go sideways. I'm like, oh, he's dude. All I hear is just the siren. They let off the. They all just get down on the floor. They open the shit back up 2 days later. Now I see a white dude walking down. He's in the yard playing ball, and I see 2 other white dudes run down on him. They start stabbing the shit out of him. I'm like, yo, what the? That was our second day. The first incident happened. That was our second day there because the first day they let us all get showers. They letting us out with no shackles or nothing. The second day that all that shit happened, yeah, we had to lock down the whole prison because of things. So now you got to go with shackles. You got 5 minutes to make it to that shower your body, put the soap on there, and 5 minutes to get back. They cut the water off of you and everything. Damn. So it was crazy. And the last time, the third shit that happened there, somebody police in the shower.
Oh, damn.
So now we locked down, no showers, no nothing. I'm taking bird baths in my cell for the whole weekend. It's already bad enough. We there fucking the whole time stuck in the cell, like, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Then I finally, we complain, like, yo, what the fuck? How everybody leaving here? This new motherfucker coming here. Y'all ain't sent me down to my unit. It's like, oh shit, they came back like, yo, we forgot about y'all to be real. Like, you know what I'm
if
saying?
you didn't say nothing, who knows how
Yo, I'm like, no phone calls, no mail, nothing to send mail out. I'm like, I know my family is bugging right now.
So talk about what's going through your mind when you see that level of violence and so, you know, the streets is one thing, but like that's such close quarters, and then it's like violence against the cops, and then it's like you at this point have like what? A year left, 14? Like
I got like 9 months
left.
left.
9 months left. You must be like,
Real
where
short.
am I, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm looking at all this shit. I'm like, damn, I heard about all this shit. Like, motherfuckers are talk, because, you know, saying there's a lot of people, why it's a lot of people back on violations.
Right.
I met this other dude, he was a member too, and he tell us like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, this is how it is up the way. I don't know. He's like, y'all all might, because y'all charges, y'all all might end up in the penitentiary. Right. Just to let y'all know, y'all get your paperwork, you know what I'm saying, when you get there. Make sure everything's straight, and you know what I'm saying, you'll be walking y'all fine, but just, you know, be on point. You know, yo, when we got to, yo, bro, this is how crazy it is. So I get down to the medium when he finally transfers down. The police of the I think they call him Ips there too, but they fucking they pull me in the room. They was like, so you Latin King, huh? I'm like, damn, bro, that's kind of wicked. It's just like that's the first thing you're gonna say to me when you came in. He was like, yeah, he was like, you King, right? He was like, says here that you was the leader in the Boston chapter. He's like, you coming to run this compound? I'm like, man, I'm passing through, man. I'm trying to do my time and just, you know what I'm saying, go home. He's like, yeah, so we might have to leave you in the hole for it says you stabbed somebody. I'm like, stab. I'm like, let me see that shit. Y'all reading the right shit? I'm like, I had a smooth bit all the way up to here, like, you know what I'm saying?
I would have remembered that.
Yeah, bro. He was like, so you a king or what? I'm like, why you keep asking me that if you already know what you know? Like, you know, so he's like, take your shirt off. So take my shirt off. I got the king life on my stomach, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you could have had it right a crown above your eyebrow. He probably still would have been asking.
Exactly. So he was like, let me see your hand. He see the 5 dots on my hand and shit. I didn't have the tattoo at the time. I got the tattoo in prison, like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, nah, you can't. He's like, I'm just letting you know it's real active in this yard. You know what I'm saying? So how you think you're going to do it? I'm like, listen, I'm good wherever I go. I know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like I said, I'm just passing through. I'm doing my time. I'm short timing right now. And he just like, well, just be prepared when you get in that yard. You might be the one running it. I was like, yo, what the fuck? This dude trying to set me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying
it's
to
like a regular CO as somebody with rank or?
Yeah, I think they're the ones that control.
Right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. You said that. My bad.
So I'm just like, well, what the fuck? So I get back and I'm like, man, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, make sure you got your paper. Make sure your paperwork good. I'm like, yeah, my paperwork good. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you ain't take no 501ks. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, no safety. I'm like, nah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, my paperwork good. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, just letting you know what I'm saying? The Ohio car be crashing out in here, and your people like to crash out a lot too on paperwork that ain't good. Nope. And I'm like, whatever. So I go back to the they took a picture for the ID and all that shit, sent me back in the holding cell. I'm like, yo, why they asking me all this weird shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who was already there, he went to court. He's like, bro, they do it all the time. They just trying to scare you, trying to get in your head, trying to see if you're gonna crash out and the thing, see if you're gonna become a problem here. I'm like, whatever. So they split my code D up. He going to the L building. I'm in N2 and fucking in the medium high. You know what I'm saying? I get up in there. People's asking. You know what I'm saying? First thing come up to me is Ohio dude. Yo, who you running with? I'm like, bro, I'm King, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the street. So I bang from the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? I came in, my whole indictment said, oh, but you ain't running with Ohio. I'm like, bro, I'm not from Ohio. I'm from Massachusetts, bro. Like, the fuck? Like, that's crazy.
Trying to recruit.
Yeah,
did you bump into, like, other Boston dudes that were on Boston time?
Yeah, so there was only one other dude that was Boston. Was an OG up in there. He was an older dude. And he actually lived on Devon back in the day. His house burned out. He was like 50-something at the time. Yeah, so
the Puerto Rican dude come up to me. He's like, hey man, what's up? Who you running with? I'm like, bro, I'm King, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's my indictment. That's why I came in. That's what I am. You know what I'm saying? He's like, so you're not running on Puerto Rican time? Like, so you're gonna run with the Kings? I'm like, yeah, those my people, but I can't turn my back on my people.
Right,
like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Spanish is Spanish. We all together at the end of the day. He's like, all right, cool. Now I respect it. You know what I'm saying? And then they had the Tango Blast in there. Tango Blast in there. He came up. He was like, yo, who you running with? And people was like, yo, hold on, he good. He's like, oh, I know your people. I know who run the yard. He does HVAC. So when he come through, he gonna holler at you because he gonna want to see your paper. Your paperwork good. I'm like, yeah, my paperwork good. I gotta order it. They give you 30 days to get your paperwork.
That's what I heard.
So I'm like, yo, I don't got it yet, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it. He's like, all right, yo, you got a habit? I'm like, no. I mean, I smoked mad weed when I was in the thing. He's like, so you don't smoke douche? You don't? I'm like, nah. He's like, you don't smoke douche? I was like, bro, nah, I don't do nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He was probably expecting that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of deuce is the big problem in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's thinking I'm lying, just bluffing. He's like, people, we don't be catching no depths in here. Your peoples don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I don't ask nobody for nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit. So then now I'm in there. They put me in the cell with this white dude. He was a user. He was a junkie, but he was cool as fuck. But he's just there like, oh, you my son? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm surprised they put you. They don't like mixing race in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I'm good if you good. Like, you know what I'm saying? He a big diesel motherfucker. I'm like, bro, this motherfucker try to get with me. I'm gonna have to try to get something, hit this motherfucker because this motherfucker is huge, like cut up huge, like not even just big. Like, he just stalky as fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going down like no sucker in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he ended up being cool as fuck. And then the Puerto Rican dude came down. He's like, yo, I got a bag for you. I'm like, you got a bag? Like, you don't gotta do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, come to my cell. So I was like, fuck, as much as I don't want to take it, my shit hit the 19th. I hit the unit on the 20th, so I just missed the canteen. Oh, yeah. I'm like, but I need it, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, he's giving me hygiene. He's giving me, you know, toothbrushes, all this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Food, all that shit. He's like, here, take the bag. He was like, you good, though, right? I'm like, I'm not thinking nothing of it, though. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, appreciate it, bro. When I get my canteen, I got you. So then they end up calling it rec. So, and I was like, oh shit, let me let me just hit the yard. Maybe I see my code D, because he just hit the other unit. So I hit the yard, seen a dude I was with in Wyatt, this dude from CT named Love, and dude named B. So I'm telling him, he's like, yo, Dan, that Tango Blast got me some sneakers, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hold it down when you get the thing, you order your shit, you just give the sneakers back, At the yard, I'm telling dude, I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, that's what you got that already. I'm like, I just walked in here, bro. They gave me that because I ain't have no sneakers. They want me out to Jackie Chan's. You know, some little van looking shit. It's slippery as fuck. He said, just in case something go down.
Yeah, Bruce Lee.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, they gave me a bag, bro. I didn't really want to take it, but you know what I'm saying? I need it. He's like, what? Nah, bro. Take the bag. You don't take the bag, they don't think you hot. I was like, damn, I didn't know that, but I took the bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, cause I
it's crazy to think how, like, just that,
my
that little
like,
decision, though,
yeah, he
went
exactly.
left. You know what I mean?
Now it
just
makes sense why he said, yo, here, take the bag. You good, though, right? Remember when I said that? He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, yo, appreciate it. I got you when I get my canteen back.
Got you.
But a lot of people looked out. I went back to everybody who looked out for me. I'm like, yo, you need something? You need something? You need something?
Yeah.
It was like, nah, I'm good, you good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You end up finishing your time off there?
Yeah,
and then,
so I finished my
you got
time
to do a
off
halfway
there.
house?
I went to the halfway house. Yeah, I went to the halfway house. So I was there for like 5 months. And, no, I was for 5 months. Because technically I had 10 months left. So I did the 1 month in the fucking, in the USP in that quarantine. Then I left the 4 months in there before I got shipped out. Because I had 5 months halfway house time. Okay. So I went and did it from there. But... yeah, it was wicked in there the whole time I was there, bro. Like Ohio car, the police wasn't lying when he was like, Ohio be cleaning up house, bro. Yeah. They was in there wilding, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Paperwork no good. I seen one dude throw himself off the top tier, bro. That's crazy. Because he was trying to get it. He was calling his other dude a rat, and then the dude he was calling a rat was in a whole nother unit. That man's came and touched the unit, looked his shit up on the law library, and was like, yo, that man told. Wow. Yeah, so they're trying to get him out, and he got scared. He threw himself, broke his collarbone, his ankle.
That's great. And when you say the Ohio card, like, racially, is this like all of them? That's a state. Spanish, whites, blacks, or what would you mean?
White, black, Spanish, all of them. That's Ohio card. Like, they got the Mass card, which is the tri-state card also, because they got the New Jersey, New York and Mass. And the Connecticut rides with them, so does Rhode Island because they're a small car. Then they got the white car, they got the black car, then they got the gang members. They had the Puerto Ricans, the neutral Puerto Ricans, the 27s, the 25s. Then they got the Dominicans. Then they got the fucking Midwest car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The whole DMV, all
politics.
that shit. Yeah.
So what about you? Plymouth? You do Plymouth the whole time? Do you get to hit like the CWP or anything, or you just get wrapped up behind?
I was like fucking. So I literally did up to 20 months, and by the time I hit like 19 months and shit, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like my whole time's like damn near like getting run the fuck up. So I was trying to leave on the bracelet.
And the whole time, are you thinking like I might like could leave any day, or did you pretty much? So you're not even getting comfortable.
Every day, there was dudes that got sentenced after me, even a month after me, and all this shit, leaving before me, and I was like, I remember I kept sending a fucking letter like, yo, are they picking me up? Like, are they?
At least if you knew, you could have got comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when the ADS dude came through, and I was like, yo, like I know when the bus comes because you take control of it and shit. Am I getting on the bus? He's like, honestly, I don't think you're going nowhere. You're gonna do your time here. But I thought he said it like a joke, so I didn't believe him and shit. And I really damn near sat there the whole time. And I remember I told my lawyer,
time, the whole COVID shit, they wasn't just trying to move nobody like that.
And when I got sentenced, the judge said, she was like, I want him immediately to the halfway house. She was like, I don't care who is a priority in that. She was like, he's a priority now. So she was like, I want him in the halfway house. They never fucking came.
Damn, that's
Never
crazy.
came, yo.
So living, on the streets, it's a pretty fast life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get to jail and prison and all that stuff, and things start to slow down, that at least at night you lock in and then you're alone with your thoughts and a lot of self-reflection. So I guess talk a little bit about that. Like, what are some things that y'all like learned about yourself with all that
Patience.
time?
I was just gonna say that,
Patience.
definitely patience, man.
So it's like the way I remember even meeting guys that he was locked up with, because when they see me, first of all, I went in 187 pounds. I went up to like 230, and then when I lost like probably 10 pounds, so I'm like 220, 215. So I'm seeing dudes that knew me before when I was skinny, like, damn, what the fuck? Yo, you got big as shit. Then I see dudes like, yo, you look like this dude I was just with in Plymouth. His name was Looney. I'm like, that's my twin. What the fuck? Y'all look just like him. So then I'm just like moving a certain way. They was like, yo, you did a bid before? I was like, nah, that's my first bid, bro. They're like, damn, you don't even move. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm just adjusting, adapting to an environment. I call my kid every day. That's the only person I called every day. My mom's stressed out. I don't call her every day. I'm like, the only reason I call my kid every day is so my kid don't forget about me. My kid was mad young. She just turned 6. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got to keep her, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing homework with her on the phone, everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just got to make sure she understands that I'm still her dad and I won't leave her no matter where I'm at. Like, you know what I'm saying? But everything else I got to block out. I'm like, no disrespect, Ma. Like, I can't call you every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? My sister's like, yo, you don't call me. Like, your brother called me all the time. I was like, I can't call you every day. Yeah. I got to keep my mind where I'm at, because I was like, I gotta focus and know that I got to get in bid mode, knowing that I'm already putting in my head when my lawyer was like, you're guaranteed time.
Right.
I'm like, I can't stress what's going on in the streets, so I really don't want to talk to everybody like that and then keep my mind, like, you know what I'm saying, on the streets, because now I'm desperate, like, when am I going home? When am I going home? Rather than like, I'm gonna be here for a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta lock in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna be here for a little
Definitely.
bit. So, you know what I'm saying? And that was a big thing, was being patient with myself. Like I said, with my first few days there, a week went by, I'm like, dog, when am I going home? Am I gonna get bailed or what? Because I don't know how the feds work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Second week go by, like, damn, this is crazy. Third week, once that month hit, I'm like, oh, I'm sitting here. But in my head, I'm still like, there's still a chance I can go home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know they get, you know what I'm saying? I could probably go home. It's just like the state. They're eventually gonna give me a bail and I'm gonna bail out. And I just started chopping it up with certain people, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, bro, feds don't give bail, bro. Like, you in here, bro. They don't just pick you up for nothing.
So
At all.
So you get out before him, right? You got less time, right? I mean, did you have a plan, like, for when you're gonna get out, other than like the halfway house? Did you start seriously, like, is that when you start dialing to with like the music and writing while you were down?
Well, when I was down, fucking like, because Ace was my celly, so we was always trying to think, but like my mind was like too much of like on my kids and shit, because I've never been away from my kids like that. So I was trying to write here and there, but when I came home, I was writing a little here and there, but I still wasn't taking it serious, because I was like, I just came home, fucking, I need to make sure I get a job and shit, because my PO was like, she was already like, she was mad cool as shit, but she was already like, you need to do this, because this is what's gonna happen, and to avoid all this extra shit, just like get a job. Yep. So fucking, like, I remember my first week I applied to UPS, and that same week, I swear to God, they called me back and they were like, we want you to start the next month and shit. So I was like, all right, cool, because I got out in May 28th and shit, a year for me yesterday off probation. But Yeah, so it's like I was just like doing all that stuff, and then I slowly started dipping into the music again with Pun. I did a few songs with him and shit like that, and then I remember when he was in the halfway house and when he did get his free time, we tried to write some music and shit, but really it was more like catching up the beginning of the time and stuff like that.
So talk about that too. Did you start developing like a plan for your release, and then talk about when you got out, just like reconnecting and
So,
like what that was
I ain't
like.
gonna lie, coming out was like, I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't got my mind set on what am I ready for?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I came out. I'm back in society. I'm like, damn, shit look different. I'm a little paranoid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but fuck, they only giving me hour walks because I don't got a job. I just got there, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to the gym. So I started locking in with myself. Went to the gym right there. I was at the Coolidge house. I go to the gym right across the street, the YMCA. I'm just there tapping in with myself and my eye, cool. So I'm trying to get into all my old social media. I couldn't get into all my old social media, whatever. So I'm trying to get into my emails. I'm trying to find my music. So then I'm tapping with my music. I'm just in my, like I don't know if it's because just used to being in the cell, just being used to confined. I really wasn't in that day room a lot. I'm more on the thing, and I'm stuck to that phone. I'm listening to all these beats. I'm just running through beats, and it's just like, just trying to get in tune with myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, this is how I do it. I'm like, fuck, I can't even rap. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard to get back in tune.
That was a little tough.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, fuck, I need to do something. I need to see family or something. Maybe I just need to see family and be able to, you know what I'm saying, see,
it's more like
it's because you got to build off. You got to build off of other people sometimes too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes seeing somebody doing something to get that idea. Like, oh, or whatever. You know what I mean?
I felt lost, like, you know what I'm
man.
saying? I'm like, what do I rap about now? I got mad shit I can rap about. My experience being in prison, my experience going through what we went through from day, being betrayed, like, you know what I'm saying? Being hurt, being sad, like, you know what I'm saying? Being scared, because I ain't gonna say I was in there tough, like, I wasn't scared, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just nervous. I'm just like, dog, this is all shit that you know what I'm saying, that can motivate me to release all this pain, and I'm just angry. I just want to do drill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So talk about when you got out, and then like being in the streets without bro, you know what I mean? Because it's what, you know, being locked up, y'all are both
that shit
away.
it was a little awkward because I remember being out and I didn't want nobody to know that I was home and stuff like that. And I remember it was like the first week I was home, and I was like, I felt like I was doing good avoiding everything because I was like, I do not want to be seen for shit. I was like, I can't let nobody risk my chance of me going back to the feds and shit like that. And then I remember this one dude see me. He was like, but I had more weight on me and shit. So fucking, he was like, yo, you look familiar. And I already recognized him. I'm like, do I? And he's like, yo, wait a minute, you one of the twins. He was like, oh shit, welcome home, bro. And I was like, fuck, this motherfucker be at all the puntos, the party, everything. He's gonna tell everybody this shit. And then I was just like, fuck it. And then I remember I got into my Facebook, and then I posted a picture of myself. Everybody's going crazy. I said, welcome home. And I was just still taking it one day at a time. I wasn't really going out. I was kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of like paranoid to go out because I felt like the feds was watching everything.
Anything can bring you back.
I was like, yo, these motherfuckers gonna be on my back. And then my lawyer was telling me,
right? Yo, my shit's gonna come get me.
Yo, my lawyer was telling me too. He's like, yo, be careful because you're high profile. He said they're gonna want to try to find anything to get you back and shit like that. So I was just trying to be like on alert and shit.
Absolutely.
It was mad weird.
What about for you? Are you a father as well?
I am.
Okay, so talk about like what y'all are looking forward to with that journey moving forward, of the fatherhood journey.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure because my kids are older now. So like when that happened, they were 6 and 3. Now they're 13 and 10. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to make sure I'm there for them, especially for my oldest, because he's like at an age where me and him was already like fucking around and shit like that. And he's cool, you know what I mean? He's mad chill, he's into his computers and all that stuff like that. But I just try to guide him in a way away from that, because that traumatized him when all that shit went down. Like my son's, like, cause like I said, I've never been away from my kids longer than like 2 weeks on a boat cruise. And like they were like, I remember they would speak to me and then they didn't want to speak to me anymore while I was in jail. It was hardly, like I never got, I didn't see them for my whole bid, because then COVID hit, Plymouth wasn't doing tablets, it stopped everything and shit. And one thing I'll never forget is when my youngest son, he was crying one time, and the older brother found him, and he didn't know what to do, so he got his grandmother. And when he went and back to him, and they're like, yo, what's going on? They was like, you was just playing and stuff. What's going on? He's like, I miss my dad. He was like, what I gotta do to go to jail? I need to go to jail right now. That fucked me up and shit, you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, I can't let them go through that shit. And it was probably like when I first came home, probably like 6 months in, and I'm just out of the random, my youngest son goes, he said some of them 600 and something days or like 500 something days. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? And he's just naming days. He's like, and I'm like, why do you keep saying that? And he goes, that's how long you was gone for. Wow. And I was like, this kid added up, went on Google and did the time frame. He was like, that's how long I haven't seen you. So I'm just like, man, and that kid just like, that shit fucked
at least
me.
You got the rest of your life now though to
you
look
feel
forward
me?
to
So
make
it's
up
just like
for it,
I'm with him every weekend, you know what I mean? I make sure that like I'm not setting the wrong example. I know I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But I try to make sure I'm always setting a good example because I don't want them to feel like because I went through it, it's easy, you know what I mean? Because that's what he kind of gave me when he said, I want to be there with dad. Right. You know what I mean? I don't want him to think that shit was like, because I did take it on the chin, but that shit was tough, you know what I mean? And I'm just, like I said, just moving forward, I'm just trying to make sure they only see nothing but the positive, you know what I mean? I work for the city now. I did like a whole 360 in my life, you know what I mean? I got my own space. I see them every weekend, you know what I mean? I talk to them all the time and shit like that, and it's like, that feels better than me just watching them grow through I had to see them grow through through pictures, because even like my BM was tripping at one point because she's like, you left us, you said you was never gonna go to jail. I didn't ask for this, you know what I mean? It's something that happened, and I know my actions that led up to, put me there and shit, but I'm like, you know what I mean, moving forward, ain't the only way's up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That definitely is the only way up.
What about with you, G?
I got 2 kids. I got a boy and a girl. My son 2, my daughter's 11.
That's what's up.
She'll be 12.
Those are great ages, though.
Yeah. So, you know, so my daughter was 6 when I went in, and my daughter she was mad tough about it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? She understood everything that was going on.
She's definitely tough.
Yeah, she's tough. So, you know, so like I just came from a soccer game before I got here for this interview.
Nice.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like, you know, I try to be as
That's
involved
important
as
to
I
be
can.
there for that stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And
Definitely.
the bid did affect our relationship a little bit as far as going through it. But like through the bid, like I said, I called her every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I try to keep, you know what I'm saying, keep in contact with her, do everything I can to still be supportive of her and all that stuff. But like coming home, things were different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things were a little tough. I wasn't like the best person, but it was like I try what I can, and I still try to keep the relationship I can with her, because she's just, I feel like she got something to prove, like, you know what I'm saying? And it all comes down to, I feel like she's seeing dads a certain way. I gotta be tough, like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be thinking like nothing scares her, like, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to show like it's okay to be scared sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it don't matter if you got that mask on to show that, you know what I'm saying, that you can be as tough as you want to be, like, you know what I'm saying? I got my son 2 years old, you know what I'm saying? He'll be 2 in October. Nice. And I just try to keep my relationship with them like as best as I can, because I didn't grow up with my father. Like, you know what I'm saying? My father was in jail for 10 years. Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I'm saying?
And then he got deported.
Yeah. And I still remember my Code D, Bam, he was just like, yo, there's letting you know, right? He did a bit already. He doing 4 years in the state, and then we get picked up here. He's like, yo, let you know now. He's like, you know what I'm saying, this relationship this bid's gonna fuck up your relationship with your daughter, but you gotta try to make the best out of it. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, I went through this with my son and my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I came home, my son, he said it was like nothing really changed, but with my daughter, things changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't see him like, all right, so going through my whole bid, calling her, talking to her, I'm like, it ain't really there, but not actually being out in the streets, you know what I'm saying, in the halfway house and all that shit, and then trying to just keep that relationship there. It was different. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was COVID at the time. The guy used to be in the house. She don't really want to go out like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She want to be home. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
gotta get back outside.
Yeah. So it's like, I still remember one time she came over to stay with me, and she was like, damn, it felt good to be a gangster. I'm just like,
yo, she is hilarious.
She looked at me, I'm like, you ain't no fucking gangster. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, nah, I am a gangster. I'm more gangster than you. I was like, I ain't no gangster. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, you ain't. I don't want to ever hear that come out your mouth again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And It was just, girls are tough, bro.
Yeah.
Girls
She
are
is
tough.
definitely
Absolutely.
tough. My son won't even like if my son's over my house and then he's like, oh, these jeans, like they kind of feel I don't like them. I'll be like, all right, put one of mine. So I'm not wearing that. I'm like, why? They say I don't wear gangster clothes. I'm not a gangster.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to wear that. I'm like, yo, what
That must
the-
make you proud though.
Yo,
Yeah,
it
a
definitely
little bit,
did.
like,
It definitely did. I was like, what? But I was
That's
like,
what's up.
these ain't even gangster clothes. So I was like,
yeah.
I like the way he
It's
thought
like
about it.
being the most involved you can be, like, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's like showing up to their sports game, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to their school, anything that's going on with school, just trying to take them out to have a good time, to do something, like, you know what I'm saying, as much as you can. I feel like that's the best way to keep these kids occupied on something other than the streets.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody has guidance like that to be able to have somebody there to keep them distracted from what's going on the street, because a lot of kids are influenced nowadays on everything that's going on in the streets.
And they're gonna have these memories for life. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be,
life,
going to
yeah.
the movies or whatever that case may be. So let's talk a little bit about like what's next with the music. What can the people expect from y'all musically?
Hell
And
yeah.
talk a little bit about that and what's the plan moving forward.
So we got, like I said, we about to shoot a video next week. To Blickum Part 2. We did that song.
yeah.
It's a feature we got on with our bro Almighty King Punch. Shout out to him again. We did the Part 1 that did some numbers, probably like 40, 50,000, you know what I'm saying? And we just trying to bring another part of us out there like that. But we got a lot of versatile music. You know what I'm saying? It was we had a lot of hidden music. Like I said, we was going for a little bit. We just had to focus on stuff. But we got a lot of stuff that's ready to come out there and be more consistent, show everybody that we could be consistent. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's a lot of people that look forward to us. And that keeps me motivated. We got to keep this going, because it don't matter if we go a month without dropping something, 2 months without dropping something. People still there looking forward to us dropping music. So there's still people that's listening. There's still people waiting. And usually, you know what I'm saying, when I feel like when somebody takes long to do stuff like that, it's like we don't got a name like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We still building ourselves. We still building our name. So usually those will be the ones that get forgotten. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for there to be multiple different people, like we just got a message from our sister yesterday saying something like, yo, one of her homegirls said us like, yo, I just came across your brother's page and I just heard their music. Yo, it touched me in a certain way. Like, yo, this was fire. You know what I'm saying? That right there is more motivation to be like, yo, we got to keep putting this out there. And then we try to be as versatile as we can. Like, yeah, we can do the gangster rap. We can do the songs for the females. And we can do the pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can do whatever we put our mind to, because I know we can, because I feel like we really like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's just what and not only that, just like the bro, King Ace and Pun, like that's family right there. So they go so hard, and the recognition they got with their music, that inspires us too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, King Ace was on tour with Millie's like 2 years ago or whatever. Yeah. We got to join that experience too, being with him on his tour out here in the House of Blues was the craziest one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Millie's too.
I missed that one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
When one win, we all win. That shit be
Yeah,
fun
and then
as
looking
hell.
at
Rising tide
bro.
lifts all boats. That's
Hell
what they say.
yeah.
So
man.
everything motivates, especially like I like to listen to a lot of Boston local artists, like, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing everybody, especially when you know them, and be like, I know these certain people on a personal level, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to Kyle, shout out to G. Fredo Hammond, all LED, yo, they doing their thing with the music. So, you know what I'm saying? That's also motivation. Like, all right, we gotta be as consistent as everybody else is to keep our name up with everybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people ain't forget about us, obviously.
Yep, exactly.
So we gotta keep, you know what I'm saying, keep promoting ourselves, keep encouraging ourselves, like, you know what I'm saying?
I post freestyles here and there too, because it's like, even if we're not in the studio, I'm working on music every day.
Yeah.
Even on solo songs too that I didn't post on my my tape and stuff like that. I still got a shitload more and stuff. And me and him just a shitload together and stuff. So we got mad music coming.
Just
We're
need
gonna
to drop
a
shit.
tape.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We
exactly.
just need to
Put
drop shit. Like
it
I
all
said,
together.
He go hard. He be working. Like, even when it's like I'm not working, he's working. I got this. All you gotta do is hop on it. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, you got
That's
something?
fire.
Yeah, I got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just hop on it. You know what I'm saying? But he worked. Like, you know what I'm
that's dope.
saying?
That's
Like,
dope to have that to feed off each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess, man, it's been a great interview, bro. No lie. But if there was anything y'all wanted to touch on, didn't get a chance to, or even some closing words for the audience, or some advice for them, or people trying to stay out of jail, or message for the youth,
that's more
something
just,
like
it's more a message to the youth.
Yeah,
Like, you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? It's more like, hey, we ain't gonna. I ain't trying to control nobody. Ain't trying to control no youth, because they're gonna do what they do regardless. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of young boys. A shout out to Givo too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's another young boy from the South End. We did a song with him, and he, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing. He raps about a lot of shit, and sometimes I'd be like, bro, chill out. You know what I'm saying? I want him to calm down a little bit. just more based off our experience and what we went through with the music and the shit, because I feel like a lot of that shit's gonna catch up to these young guys. You know what I'm saying? As far as how they do their music, not telling you what to do with your music, just be mindful a little bit of how you do your music and what you say in your songs, because they out here building cases. You know what I'm saying? It ain't only the celebrities getting hit with these RICOs and all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even go for him. I go for everybody, all these young guys out here in Boston doing their thing. Like, man, keep doing you. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. Just be mindful of what you do and how you say, you know what I'm saying, how you move about your music. But keep going, because everybody,
keep
these young
being
guys going
creative,
up.
but just like me, be mindful how you go about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to put it out there too, because I heard someone say the other day, whereas if you go into something knowing the result, you're not a victim, you're a volunteer for it. So I feel like it's on us to kind of at least put that out there. Y'all actually went
Sometimes
through
I
it.
feel like if I didn't, I can't pass that little piece of advice or that little message just so you can hear it. I mean, as long as you hear me, that's it. You know what I mean? You do what you want with that information.
Yeah, put the knowledge out
Like
there.
our shit's public, man. You can go Google and you find stuff. If you don't believe it, go look at that and you can see what we went through, and it's gonna relate to what we talking about.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate y'all coming through.
Appreciate you, bro.
And you know, we're gonna link all the social media and all that. Send me whatever you guys can too. You know, behind the scenes and all that. So guys, there it is right there. The Generals in the building. And B. Luke, the Bounce Back
Shout out B.
podcast.
Luke, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
shout
you,
out
bro.
B. Luke, man.
Thank y'all,
Real
man.
talk, dog.
For real, yo. Thank
Real
y'all.
shit, man.
Hell yeah, man. Guys, remember, it is what it is. What's next is what you make it. And on that note, we're out of here. Peace.
Bounce back, you got a moment. When they see you down, there's